Arsenal's Bukayo Saka is recalled to the starting lineup. Denmark, meanwhile, unsurprisingly, unchanged from the side that started their quarter-final victory over the Czech Republic last Saturday. The England boss Gareth Southgate has told his players to show no fear as they try to make history for their nation. Denmark boss Kasper Hjulmand says they're not the underdogs. The match is underway. We'll bring you full commentary in 3 minutes after the BBC News.
Hello, I'm David Harper with the BBC News. Haiti's interim Prime Minister, Claude Joseph, has declared a state of emergency, which grants the executive greater powers just hours after the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. Mr. Joseph announced that he had taken charge of the country after unidentified gunmen shot President Moïse dead at his home in Port-au-Prince. He made the announcement on national television.
We have decided to declare a state of siege in all the country. We ask for people to stay calm. We call on the intelligence of Haitians in this difficult time.
Our Americas editor Candice Piet has the latest details.
Claude Joseph said the police and army have the situation under control. Reports from Port-au-Prince say the streets are calm and virtually empty. The Haitian ambassador to neighbouring Dominican Republic announced that a plane was being prepared to fly President Jovenel's wife, injured in the attack, to a hospital in the capital, Santo Domingo. The White House called the assassination horrific and offered help with any investigation. President Moïse has been politically unpopular for years, ruling Haiti by decree since elections were delayed in 2018.
Gunmen who abducted more than 100 students from a boarding school in northwestern Nigeria on Monday have now issued a demand for food to feed the children. Ishaq Khalid reports.
The owner of the Bethel Baptist High School, Reverend Ishai Adamujangadu, said the school officials spoke briefly on Tuesday with the gunmen and some of the kidnapped students. He says the abductees could be heard crying and pleading to be rescued. He said 120 students were being held. The gunmen are yet to make any ransom demands. The Nigerian authorities say security forces are trying to rescue the school children.
The United Nations say there has been an overwhelming increase in child abuse in parts of West and Central Africa. The UN Children's Fund said a third of all grave violations against children occurred in the region. It said about 500 have been abducted in Nigeria in the last 6 weeks. The Lithuanian Prime Minister has said her country will build a physical barrier along its border with Belarus as part of measures to deter illegal immigration. Ingrida Shimonyte has accused Belarus of organising migration as part of a hybrid aggression against Lithuania. Here's our Europe regional editor, Danny Aberhart.
Lithuania helped lead a recent push that saw a significant tightening of European Union sanctions against Belarus. Minsk reacted by suspending an EU partnership agreement, warning this would affect cooperation on tackling illegal migration. And Lithuania has seen a jump in crossings by migrants from the Middle East and Africa. Now it intends to install razor wire along the entire 680-kilometre-long frontier. Only about 10% of the border is currently fenced off.
World News from the BBC.
On radio, online and on mobile. This is Sports World on the BBC World Service.
Hello again from me, John Bennett. That's the sound of Wembley Stadium you can hear in the background. You're listening to a very special midweek edition of the programme for the Euro 2020 semi-finals. Will there be even more drama than 24 hours ago when Italy beat Spain? It's England against Denmark for a place in the Euro 2020 final. Let's join our team at Wembley. 3 minutes gone, England 0, Denmark 0. Former England winger Chris Waddle and the BBC's football correspondent John Murray.
Sterling down in the Danish right back position. In comes the challenge from Christensen when the ball bounces out for a throw 10 yards back from the corner flag. Luke Shaw, so effective in Rome on Saturday night against Ukraine. England, though, today facing the team that is the highest in the world rankings of any they've yet faced at Euro 2020. Denmark, number 10 in the world. England, number 4 in the world. Back it goes to Stones on the halfway line. And the BBC's World Service listeners join us as well here at Wembley Stadium. A beautiful night for it. Shaw with a flick to Sterling near the edge of the box. Sterling, who's been bright in the early stages. Everything on the England left. Rice goes infield towards Calvin Phillips. England 0, Denmark 0. Maguire's ball forward through the middle, looking for Mount, but in come the challengers, and the ball is brought forward by the dangerous Mela out on the left-hand side. Now Saka allows it to run. Kane's out on the right. Kane's ball to the back post. Sterling can't get there. It's right across the penalty area, and it rolls behind for a goal kick.
I don't know how England will keep this tempo. It's a warm evening. They've come out the blocks 100 mile an hour. That is a wonderful pass by Harry Kane. Bends it around the other defenders. Raheem Sterling, who's very, very quick, just can't get it. What is a yard off it? It's a left foot. Gets the 6-yard line. It's a simple tap in his left foot. But England are hustling Denmark, and they don't like it.
It really is an ideal night for a big match. Not too hot, not too cold. It's dry. Sun glinting on the arch as Maguire plays the ball back to Pickford, who takes a touch with Goldberg arriving. Up it goes to the halfway line, but Kane is beaten to it. Now Denmark have got it on the right-hand side with Jens Strøyer Larsen. Jens Strøyer Larsen, who's supposed to be getting married on Saturday. We'll see about that.
Well, let's hope he is.
Yeah, the ball finds its way to the number 17 again, Jens Strøyer Larsen, who has been very impressive on the right in the same way that Mela has on the left.
Mela's been excellent on the left. Two good wing backs. They're a good side, but England's just dropped off the pace now after that bright start.
Yeah, Denmark, you remember, lost their first 2 matches. Everything, of course, surrounding the game against Finland. Then beaten by Belgium, but here they are in the semi-finals, the first team to reach a European semi-final after losing their first 2 matches. That's a poor ball out to the far side behind the run of Mela, and it's a throw into England. England 0, Denmark 0, 6 minutes played, and a vibrant, a wonderful, a spine-tingling atmosphere ringing around Wembley Stadium. 8,000 Danes to our left, all UK-based, I'm told, as Harry Maguire carries the ball deep into Danish territory. Gives it to Sterling on the left-hand side. Sterling running at Strøyer Larsen. Sterling with a cross, headed away on the edge of the 6-yard box. Comes out to Shaw. Shaw takes it down, drives it low across the penalty area. Saka's onto that, and then Delaney's able to stab it away right-footed towards the halfway line. Calvin Phillips takes possession. Strong start from England, Chris.
Excellent start. I mean, down this left-hand side in particular, aren't they? Getting the ball out to Sterling. Shaw's joining in very, very well.
England in possession on the halfway line. Maybe it is the case that this group of players will never have a better chance. It could be a matter of now or never for them. But Denmark take possession, and the ball is over on the left-hand side with Damsgaard. And now it's down the left-hand side to Mela. Walker's back with him. And Walker just well nips the ball away from him. Excellent play from Kyle Walker. And Mela in the end, under the pressure from Walker, slips over. And Walker just takes the ball away from him. Kane, he's caught in possession, 10 yards inside the England half. But Phillips is there to mop up behind him. And now England have it halfway inside their own half. Declan Rice just walk it forward. And then a little touch to his right. Phillips goes for one of those passes, his speciality, and it bounces in the Danish left-back position. Saka was onto it, got a touch, but couldn't bring it under control, and it bounced off his left foot and through.
Keep doing that. If people go willing to run in behind like that, Saka's got good pace still, and as Phillips, keep hitting them balls. Keep hitting them.
England 0, Denmark 0. That's Chris Waddle with us. And with this team selection, just the one change tonight. So Gareth Southgate has named a different team for every match at these Euros. No 2 starting lineups have been the same. Ball is played over the top now, though. And here's a run through the middle by Damsgaard. And in comes Walker with the challenge. Shoulder to shoulder with Damsgaard, and was able to effectively put in the challenge. And it bounced back to Pickford.
Just as well it was Kyle Walker there, because he had the legs on it. He would have the legs on the other centre-halves, but he got there. Kyle Walker did a brilliant job off his chest back to Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, Mikkel Damsgaard, who turned 21 last weekend. England 0, Denmark 0. Ball headed forward by Brathwaite, but will bounce through to Jordan Pickford. So down to Karen Carney on pitch side again.
Yeah, completely agree with you guys there. You know, Walker 2 times now, he just bullied the fullback Mayer off the pitch, and then his speed there covered, because what they're trying to do is Denmark get him down the side to Harry Maguire. I think they think on the turn he's a little bit slow, so they're really trying to overload on that. That's why it's important that Raheem Sterling runs them the other way, because they are threatening down that right-hand side. And credit to Walker, who's had to come all the way across to cover.
The choice of listening tonight, by the way, 5 Live Sports Extra has commentary from Wimbledon on the remaining quarter-final. The big story there today that Roger Federer is out, knocked out in straight sets. So the commentary continues with our excellent Wimbledon team via BBC Sounds and on digital radio. Here's Shaw on the left. Shaw infield to Rice. Just has a look, but plays it to John Stones. England, who have still yet to concede a goal at this tournament. Remember, 7 consecutive clean sheets, which is a national record now. And England, patient this time, choosing their moment. Maguire to Stones. Walker's available out there on the far side. White socks pulled up over his knees. Now uses Mason Mount, who's appeared on the right-hand side. Mount into Calvin Phillips. Phillips wasn't sure where Damsgaard was. Went quickly out to the right, back to Phillips. Now through the middle to Mount. Mount is able to find Saka on the right-hand side. Saka, Phillips behind him. Here's Mount again. Mount with a low cross into the penalty area. A stretch and a clearance by the big captain, Kier. England continue to press down the right. Twist by Mason Mount. Mount then latches onto it again inside the box, but it just ran away from him as the challenge came in from Vestergaard, who was able to block it behind for the match's first corner, and it's gone to England.
Good play down the right-hand side. Mason Mount heavily linked up there with Saka, just overruns it slightly. Vestergaard gets in, clears it away, and it's the first corner. This will be interesting to see with the match-up with England normally dangerous, but Denmark are a big side.
Mason Mount to take this corner. England scored from one of his corners in Rome. Jordan Henderson's memorable moment. Corner from the right. Raises his arm. Mount with a delivery which is headed firmly away, but only out to Phillips on the edge of the box. Phillips, though, is challenged. The Danes could be off on the counter-attack here. A stretch and a challenge. Then Delaney strikes it downfield, but Walker's underneath that, and Walker's able to volley it back to Mount. Mount finds Kane. Kane in space, 30 yards out. Now to the left to Sterling. Sterling into the box. Right foot shot straight at Schmeichel, who's able to drop down onto the knees and scoop it up.
You know what, when you get the ball there, Sterling, he comes inside, you think, now, open yourself up, bend it to the far post, whip it. He's actually scuffed it off his heel. It's an easy save for Schmeichel. It's a good start by England. Good tempo about them.
It's the first save that Kasper Schmeichel has had to make, but it was straight at him. Just didn't catch it with the power that he wanted. Raheem Sterling. 3 goals so far for England at Euro 2020, all of them here at Wembley. But he's matched on that mark now by Harry Kane after his 3 in the last 2 matches. And that's a crossfield pass that bounces harmlessly out of play. Cheers from the home supporters.
They've got rattled, John. They've not settled at all, Denmark, have they? They've not really put 3 or 4 passes together yet. They're trying to play at that slow tempo, slow the game down, take the sting out of it. But England just keep coming at them.
Luke Shaw to take the throw for England. Calvin Phillips makes himself available. Not a great deal of movement here. 0-0 if you've just switched on to us. I would imagine if you have, you might well be on your way home. Kane takes it down and then sweeps it out to the right-hand side. And there's space there for Kyle Walker. Lots of space in front of him. Saka pulls out wide to the far side. And then Saka uses Declan Rice. Rice just striding across the field from right to left. I wonder if James Corden's here again watching him in the same box as Mark Noble, the West Ham captain. Back it goes to the West Ham man, who has a look, thought about the long pass, but goes square to John Stones. And now Stones out to the right-hand side to Walker. Walker goes for an early ball to the edge of the box. Kane takes it down and shoots. 23 yards out. He hit it well enough, but it was always rising high above the crossbar and into the Danish fans.
It's a great ball by Kyle Walker, whips it in. What a great first touch by Harry Kane. Wasn't easy to control that. Swivels on it, high over the bar into the Danish fans.
So it's a goal kick that Kasper Schmeichel will take. It was great to hear Peter Schmeichel earlier in the programme. Kasper Schmeichel looking to emulate his father, who was the winning goalkeeper in that Danish side, which was one of the great footballing stories that Denmark were able to win the European Championship in 1992. England, who've not even been to the final of this tournament. And Phillips is caught in possession, and this could be dangerous as the ball is taken onto the edge of the box by Delaney, but the shot was... Oh, Pickford's given it away. He's given it to Damsgaard. Damsgaard to Brathwaite. Brathwaite's right foot shot, but that's dragged well wide. Took a flick off the defender's foot, it seems, and it's a corner to Denmark.
Well, a little bit of sloppy play by England there. Pickford, Kyle Walker gets caught as well. That's two opportunities they've had, Denmark. We said they are a dangerous side. You can't give them chances like that.
A little careless from Pickford, who's been so secure. His important saves that he's made to preserve all of these clean sheets. If he makes it to 26 minutes, that's a new record for the longest period of football without conceding a goal as the England goalkeeper, which would beat Gordon Banks's record, which was set back during the World Cup in 1966. So Denmark from this corner have absolutely crowded Jordan Pickford. They've got 5 men almost on the goal line. And it's like Piccadilly Circus in there. Corner from the left then for Denmark, and this is taken in. Pickford comes, gets a punch on it in yellow, all above that red and white. Ball worked back out towards the far side. Denmark still with so many red shirts in the England box, but Mason Mount is able to get a touch on the far side, and then he's fouled, and the pressure is relieved, and it's a free kick to England. And down to Karen.
Jordan Pickford's just got a high five from John Stones. I think he knew he just kind of switched up in that moment, threw it out, and he got dispossessed. But what I love about that is no one went up to him, no one badgered him. They all did their job. Man there, got him the free kick. That's a team right there, and no one was stressed in that moment. Previously, I reckon they would have been anxious, giving away a corner. No, experience, and they've helped each other out, and that's why this defensive back line is very special. Kane and Maguire all went to everyone, calm down, we got this.
England 0, Denmark 0. Under the blue skies of northwest London. Ball is headed out of play by Vestergaard, and Kasper Hjulmand gets a touch over there on the far side. I wouldn't be at all surprised once his time as the Danish coach has ended, whether we perhaps see him involved in English football. The Danish coach, friendly-faced, fair hair, standing with his feet wide apart, his hands in his pockets. As England have the ball with the central defender, Stones back to Pickford, takes a touch on his left foot, and then Pickford delivers it. Far too much on that ball, and the ball, that silver ball, just drifts straight out of play for a throw.
It's strange, John, how England started so brightly the first, 10, 15 minutes, up to 15 minutes. Now they've just come off the pace slightly, and we're starting to see Denmark now putting a few passes together, looking dangerous on the break.
So it's still 0-0. England, who've lost their last 5 semi-finals, as Shaw wins the ball back, that England are pulled up for a foul on Højbjerg, who stayed down on his back, but I think he'll be okay. And it's a free kick to the Danes. 7 or 8 yards inside the England half, here on the right-hand side. England just dropping everyone back to the edge of the penalty area. Dolberg with the taking the position up through them. Sterling standing in front of the ball, and Sterling saying to the referee that Denmark have stolen some yards here as well. Strøyer Larsen has come across, and also Damsgaard, and England holding a very high line, 5 or 6 yards outside of their penalty area as they defend the end to our right. Strøyer Larsen, high and right-footed, beyond everyone inside the penalty area, and that bounces harmlessly and rolls away, and it's actually whacked away downfield by Walker, because Dolberg was chasing it down, and then Sterling is bundled over on near the halfway line, and it's a free kick to England.
Yeah, it's a bit scrappy at the minute. That was a terrible free kick, wasn't it, by Denmark? I don't know what they were looking at. England had a very high lane, definitely overhit it. Kyle Walker plays it away, Raheem Sterling gets fouled. It's just got a little bit scrappy at the moment.
England with the ball on the left-hand side. Shaw plays it infield to Rice. Sterling just a few yards away. Sterling gives it back to Rice, and England retreat into their own half. Rice with a high ball to the right-hand side, which is taken down by Walker, and then in comes the challenge from Delaney, and the ball just runs away downfield, and England take possession again deep inside their own territory. Jordan Pickford says to Stones, go on, you take it. Harry Maguire, who was sent off here, remember, when the sides met in the autumn, sent off with an hour to play, and England ended up losing to Christian Eriksen's penalty, but played an hour with 10 men. However, England failed to score in both matches against Denmark in the autumn in the Nations League. Who'd have thought when we watched that dreadful game in Copenhagen, Chris, that we'd be sitting here now watching these two sides playing for a place in the final of the European Championship. Mason Mount, but the ball bounced off him. Vestergaard was able to clear it downfield. The ball bounces all the way down into the England half. But Maguire's able to come across, and Walker hits it forward. Saka back to Rice. Rice rides the challenge, but that challenge from Dolberg took it to Brathwaite, and now Denmark with it inside the centre circle with Højbjerg. Danes move it to the right. Strøyer Larsen is there, and then back they go into the back line.
Everybody knows he's giving the ball away. A bit of pressure. They're losing the ball once they get over the halfway lane. As soon as they're getting closed down, too many players now not looking after the ball well enough. It's become a little bit scrappy, but Denmark enjoy the pace when they have the ball. They slow the game right down. England's obviously trying to work hard to get it back.
So 20 minutes played, England 0, Denmark 0. As John Stones is able to receive that ball, that attempted pass through the middle for Dolberg. And in the end, Pickford is able to clear it away. Ball bounces back into the England right-back area. And Walker will turn, and right-footed. The ball up towards Kane, and tried to bring it down, but couldn't get a touch on it. And Denmark have got it back again with Simon Kjær, the captain. There will be a 606 phone-in on 5 Live, by the way, tonight with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. And we'll let you know in the second half when the lines are open. But hashtag BBC 606 and text 85058 to have your say on what happens here tonight. But in the first 20 minutes, over 20 minutes now, really just the one attempt on goal, that shot from Sterling that was easily saved by Schmeichel.
And a good ball by Kane, just slightly overhit for Sterling. They've had a couple of half chances themselves, Denmark. So I would say for the first 10, 12 minutes, England pressed, looked very threatening, but they've come off the pace now, and Denmark's got a nice little rhythm about them, looking after the football.
Which they're doing with big, blonde-haired, bearded Simon Kjær. Ball is turned by Delaney towards the right here. Strøyer Larsen takes it back into his own half. And now the game has really settled down after England's promising start. They are cancelling one another out. And what we've seen over the last 5 or 6 minutes is actually reminiscent of what we saw in Copenhagen in the Nations League at the start of the season. Here's Naylor on the left-hand side, the Atalanta man. Put in that wonderful right-footed cross for the Dolberg goal against the Czechs. Here is Dolberg through the middle, tall and fair head. In comes the challenge from Maguire on him. Strøyer Larsen, then to Brathwaite. Brathwaite, very nearly found the pass to Naylor, but Walker was in position, and England clear it downfield.
It's very hard, John, because Denmark are playing 3 at the back, 2 wing-backs, 2 in midfield, 3 up front. So Raheem Sterling's coming back with a wing-back, or whoever steps in the midfield, he's coming with him, as is Saka. So when we clear the ball, England, there's only Harry Kane who's come deep as well, but he ain't got the pace to go and chase after it like a Sterling. So it's really important that Sterling tries to stay as high up the field as possible.
This, of course, for the right to play Italy in the final here at Wembley on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. But nothing in this game. Both coaches yesterday said they thought it would be a tight match between the sides. And the way it's settling down, that looks exactly how it's going to be. England take a throw back into their own half. And here is John Stones across to Harry Maguire. Maguire looks up. Shaw's available, his Manchester United teammate. And Shaw, white shirt outside his shorts with the long sleeves again. I think that's going to be the pattern for the rest of the tournament. And then Maguire again in possession. A little pass to Rice. And England forced through John Stones to go all the way back to Pickford, who clears long and high. Mount and Shaw weren't sure who was going to challenge for that. Strøyer Larsen, left-footed, plays it downfield. Maguire's underneath that. He lifts it forward. Højbjerg hits it straight at Rice. This is scrappy. Rice to Kane, who is challenged strongly and well, says the referee, by Vestergaard of Southampton. Now Damsgaard. Dolberg inside the D. Damsgaard wanted him to leave it. Damsgaard's still got it, just near the edge of the box. England players all around him, still going. Right foot shot, right across the face of goal, but over the top right corner.
Damsgaard's a player for the future. He's been brilliant in this tournament, and the way his movement is tonight, he's got a lot of pace, a change of pace about. When he gets the ball at his feet, he's so threatening, so dangerous. Just cuts inside there, bends at his right foot. Pickford was very confident it was going wide, and it did.
Should that have been a foul on Harry Kane on the half?
No, good tackle.
Damsgaard, Mikhail Damsgaard, who played for Claudio Ranieri this season at Sampdoria in Italy. He came through at Nordsjælland, which was the club where really Kasper Hjulmand, the Danish coach, made his name. Goal kick, England. Pickford to take it. Pickford takes a shot and then immediately signals to Stones that he should fire it away downfield. But Walker takes it on, down the right wing. Here's Saka. Saka turning. And the 19-year-old then goes on a little run in field. He shrugs off the challenge that comes in on him from Mela and wins the free kick.
Well, he was a bit fortunate, I've got to say. He loses control of it. Mela then decides to... I don't know what Mela thought about. He had the ball at one stage, and all of a sudden he gets more interested. He thinks somebody's going to come and get the ball. He ends up bringing Saka down, and it's a good position. Free kick.
Yeah, set-piece situation. Let's see how strongly England are able to threaten here. Let's see how strongly Denmark are able to stand up to this. Maguire and Stones. Rice is there as well at the back post. Kane more centrally. England, who scored 2 goals from set pieces in Rome on Saturday. Mount to take this. Mount plays it in towards the back post, looking for Maguire. The Danes dealt with it, headed it down. Stones takes it out towards the left-hand side, gives it to Shaw. Shaw curls it into the back post, looking for Kane, who is in between 2 of the Danish defenders, Mela and Vestergaard. And neither of them could get a touch. None of them. Mount now on the right. Mount uses Phillips, and then back to Saka. Saka turning out towards the touchline on the far side, but that comes to nothing. Denmark have got it back, and Denmark play it long. This for the run of Brathwaite, but Walker was able to get to that first. Phillips, quick pass, back to Shaw. Still 0-0 on 5 Live here in the Euro 2020 semi-final at Wembley Stadium. Oh, that's a poor touch from Sterling, receiving the ball from Shaw. Took his eye off the ball and it bounced out of play for a throw.
Well, we've said this before. Sometimes his concentration levels are not the best. He's ball strike and he overruns it. You know, it's about composing himself, and at times he is capable of doing that. But Denmark's come right back into this game.
Back at Euro 96, both semi-finals went to penalties, incidentally. I wonder what the chances of that happening now 25 years later. Dolberg takes the ball on and Mount in with a challenge, and referee Macaulay says that just tugged him back, just used an arm. He went down, the Danish player, and it's a free kick.
It was more Declan Rice who kind of get the better of him, so he chases after Mount, just comes across him, and it's a free kick, definitely.
Just put his arm over his shoulder, Mason Mount, on Dolberg, so it's a free kick to Denmark. Very similar sort of position, actually, to the one that England had moments ago at the other end, maybe a little further out. So again, England are holding this high line. England 0, Denmark 0. In England's 2 semi-finals in the past 3 years, they took the lead in both of them, you might remember. Trippier with the goal in Moscow, Rashford with the goal in Guinea, and they went on to lose both of them after extra time. Still, we're waiting for this Danish free kick.
I can't believe, John, they never play the ball down the side. Look, everybody is over there, 2-man wall. Why does one of them just block somebody up, spinning this hole down the side? You've got a shot in on goal.
A huge group of players just outside the D. You could almost throw a blanket over them. But as the free kick's taken, they all peel away, and there's a Danish player who's gone down, and the referee says that's a free kick for the challenge on, presumably, Christensen, who was the player who ended up on the floor, and now it's a free kick in a much better situation for Denmark.
It's Luke Shaw. He's got both hands around him. If that was in the box, by the way, that would have been a pen. You cannot do that.
Free kick then. Now this is the best opportunity that Denmark have had in the game so far. This is between 20 and 25 yards out. It is just to the left of centre. And Denmark, there is the possibility of it being taken by Damsgaard. Might be touched off.
I think he wants it. No, I think he wants it.
It might just be a little touch, and then Damsgaard to strike it. England have put up the wall. Jordan Pickford standing on his right post. Referee comes back, waits to blow the whistle, and Stroyer Larsen steps back, but it is going to be Damsgaard to hit it. Oh, it's in! It's into the top corner! And just short of the half hour, Denmark are in front. And that is a wonderful free kick from Mikhail Damsgaard over the wall. Pickford diving to his right. And in the semi-final, England have conceded for the first time at Euro 2020. England 0, Denmark 1.
By the way, you'll not see a better free kick. If that was Ronaldo taking out Lionel Messi, everybody would be raving. How good is this technique here, by the way? He just steps up to it, hits it with the top of his foot, nicks the ball, bends. Jordan Pickford maybe says it's not gone in the top corner, it's not far off, but Jordan Pickford may be a little bit disappointed. He hasn't got there, but it's the sheer pace of the ball which beats him.
And the dip on it as well, Chris. The dip on that.
Fantastic technique.
It happened just a few yards away from where Karen Carney's standing.
Yeah, look, as soon as he hit it, it was in. Pace, everything on it, and you could say Pickford could have got there, and Pickford did fall to his knees. He was gutted with conceding it, but from my angle, it was absolutely the pace on it. I don't think he could have done nothing about it. But straight away, Kane, Maguire, Stones are like, come on, we got this, because we've got the bench and we can come back from this. But look, that was a sensational free kick, and he was going in the minute he struck it.
So there we are. England now find themselves behind at Euro 2020 for the first time. The first goal that England have conceded in 692 minutes of football. And now the Danish fans, the 8,000 of them in the goal behind Kasper Schmeichel, are buoyant. They are waving their red and white flags. And England now playing it forward. Phillips with a header, but it just bounces out of play for a throw to Denmark halfway inside their own half. And just 4 minutes, after Jordan Pickford had set a new record for the longest number of minutes without conceding an international goal for England, he was beaten by that free kick.
John, it was just a marvellous free kick. I mean, goalkeeper experts may say he could have got across, but the pace of the way he strikes it with the top of his foot, it's dipping, it's moving everywhere, and the pace on it, that's why he couldn't save it. It was the pace. Brilliantly hit by the 21-year-old, just turned 21, Mikkel Damsgaard of Sampdoria. And England 0, Denmark 1 is the score. So the Danes now with a spring in their step as Mount comes across and blocks the ball out of play near the halfway line. So England just mentioned the fact that in the previous two semi-finals under Gareth Southgate, they lost after going ahead. Now it's England's turn to see if they can come from a goal down to win the semi-final. Throw-in for Strøyer Larsen. Shaw gets his head to it. Shaw, who conceded the free kick that led to the goal that was scored by Damsgaard. Pickford lays the ball out low. Oh, he's giving it away. Straight to Dahlberg. Brathwaite looks for the arriving Strøyer Larsen. Strøyer Larsen, little ball to the edge of the area. A flick on the edge of the box. But the flick took the ball straight through to goalkeeper Pickford from Damsgaard. I've got to say, Denmark are playing well. Their system's working. England came out the blocks quick for 10-12 minutes, and since then Denmark have been the better side, let's be honest, and their system's working. Gareth's tempted to be changing it soon.
Well, many of the experts said that this would be England's stiffest test yet, and that's exactly how it's proving. Sterling, though, down the left-hand side, plays the ball across the edge of the box. Phillips might get there. No, Mæhle did. Mæhle went in with the challenge. Now Walker in a race with Damsgaard, but Walker recovered brilliantly.
I don't think I've ever saw him lose a race. It was so quick. I mean, the crowd's trying to get behind England, and that was a decent attack by Raheem Sterling again.
Listen to this, the crowd trying to respond, trying to make England respond. We've already played 33 minutes. England going behind on the half hour for that stunning goal from Damsgaard, his second of the tournament.
Sampdoria must be rubbing the hands.
Well, there's already talk, Chris, of him coming to the Premier League this summer. 15 million was the sum that had been reported.
It's just doubled now.
I think it has. It's soaring by the second. Here's Kane, though, through the middle. Kane rides the challenge. Oh, no, he's brought down by Delaney. Kane, brilliant turn, actually, from the England captain. And Delaney just slid in, brought him down. And now England have a free kick in a good position.
Great chance now. It is a free kick. Harry Kane does ever so well. Delaney lunges at him, takes him down. What is it? Middle of the goal, just outside the D, 4 or 5 yards outside the D. What, 25 yards? There's a few queuing up wanting it. Mason Mount, Luke Shaw. And Raheem Sterling's there as well.
Sterling is there.
Well, he looked at somebody with confidence, so Luke Shaw definitely, and Mason Mount, I've seen him put them in from this angle before.
Yes, we have for Chelsea. Mount standing to the left of the ball. Sterling is there behiund it. Bukayo Saka was there as well, looking interested, but he's been sent away. And Luke Shaw is the other man. So this is just slightly right of centre.
I think Luke Shaw fancies it.
He does. Luke Shaw has the body language that suggests he might be the one to take it. They've put a man down on the ground, lying down behind the wall. Sterling just moving his feet from right to left. Mount standing to the left, Shaw to the right. Sterling behind the line of the ball, waiting for this England free kick. Sterling it is, little steps, he takes it but hits the top of the wall, the Danish wall, and the ball bounces out towards the far side and out of play for a throw. England 0, Denmark 1 in the semi-final. Denmark with their noses in front.
It's the first time I've ever seen Raheem Sterling take a free kick. I mean, I've not seen him ever take one before. But Luke Shaw, I thought, left foot out, ideal. But Denmark did their job, the wall.
England are going to try a long throw here. Walker backing right up against the hoardings on the far side, wiping the ball on his shirt. England have put 3 men in the 6-yard box. Sterling is there at the near post in the 6-yard box. Walker spins the ball, then hurls it in. Maguire with a flick, bounces right across the box. Harry Kane gets there first for England, turns against Stroyer Larsen, goes for the byline, pulls the ball over with his left foot, but Kjær is there underneath it for Denmark. And a very good clearance from him. Brathwaite now to Naylor. Naylor, Stones trying to get back. Naylor's found Brathwaite. Brathwaite to the right-hand side. Højbjerg is there, 3 men in the box. Here comes the cross from Højbjerg, but it's over everyone. Dolberg the closest to it. And England escaped there. They were stretched, and now there's a foul on Saka. And England with a free kick halfway inside their own half.
That was an ideal counter-attack, Denmark. That's how good they are on the break. I don't know why Højbjerg tried to stand it up, flashing across the goal. People are running towards their own net. He can hit anybody and go in the back of the net. Shouldn't have stood up at the far post. Great counter-attack.
So, Denmark leading by 1-0. Damsgaard's free kick, stunning free kick. As Chris Waddle said, it was almost Ronaldo-like. He's the dip on it, and it's the pace and the dip that beat Jordan Pickford's dive to his right, as England conceded a goal for the first time in 8 matches. And it is Denmark with the lead. Here's Saka though on the right-hand side. Saka slips it forward to Kane. Kane in the box, works it across. Sterling's there! Schmeichel with a save! 7 yards out, Sterling arriving. It looked a cert that he would bury that past the Leicester City captain, but Schmeichel reacted to his left and parried it away.
That was just a magnificent save from a top-class goalkeeper, Schmeichel. What a save that was. It's got the fans going. It's a great ball in. You've got to think, Raheem Sterling, you've got to put that in the back of the net.
My mind instantly goes back to the FA Cup final and the important saves that Kasper Schmeichel made in that match. His brilliant all-round display, really, as Leicester City's captain, but also the way that Chelsea came onto them towards the end of that dramatic finish to the cup final. Kane playing it through to Saka. Saka right side of the box. He's got some space. Plays it across. Sterling puts it in and equalises for England. Great play. Kane with a pass. Saka onto it. And Saka found Sterling in the 6-yard area, and the boy from Brent does it for England again at Wembley, and it's England 1, Denmark 1.
Well, they just saw it coming. He nearly scored, a couple of minutes ago. Raheem Sterling should have scored maybe. This time he does. Where Denmark are struggling is when they get it down the sides of the 2 centre-halves on the outside of it. They cannot turn any bit of pace. Definitely onside. We've seen a bit of a replay. Slightly overruns it, but it's a great ball across. It might even actually be an own goal off the captain.
Kjær was sliding in with Sterling, and we're just seeing an angle now, which I think you're right, Chris. Yeah, it's come off Kjær. It's come off Simon Kjær and into the roof of the net. Sterling putting him under pressure, but it's sort of off the upper thigh, I think, of Kjær. But it's an own goal. It's yet another own goal at Euro 2020. And Sterling is denied what would have been his 4th goal of the tournament. but England were behind for just 9 minutes.
Well, that was good because Denmark dropped deep, but England up the tempo again, which good teams have to do when you go behind, and they responded magnificently.
So back all square. England behind for the first time in the tournament, but it lasted only for 9 minutes. Down to Karen Carney.
Well, you talk about response. If England were to go behind, I'll tell you what, there was it right there. And I think everyone said, why does Harry Kane come to feet? Why does he come to feet? Because he put that ball in for Saka to get him behind. It was the two wingers then that combined, but the whole pattern of play in attacking build-up was brilliant. And then what I loved the most was Kyle Walker, his celebration. Over to you, sorry.
Denmark on the attack. Denmark playing the ball out towards the right-hand side here. Strøyer Larsen is onto this. Strøyer Larsen in the England left-back position. The two men are on him, Shaw and Mount. Then it goes back to Højbjerg closer to the halfway line. Another Euro 2020 explosion of noise when the ball ended up in the back of Kasper Schmeichel's net. Nothing you could do about that one, Chris.
No, not a chance. Saka did ever so well to compose himself, get his balance right, and just fizz it across that 6-yard line. Couldn't do anything about it, the captain, could he? Just slid in, it's hit him, it's gone in the roof of the net.
Yeah, unfortunate for Simon Kjær, but he did what he had to do, and he was trying to prevent...
That's where they're going to get joy done, down the sides of the two centre-halves in between the captain, just in them little gaps. That's where you need them runners, Sterling and Saka. That's where they need to be running, down them little channels.
Simon Kjær in possession. He celebrated winning his 100th cap here back in October, leading his team to the 1-0 win that was secured by Christian Eriksen's penalty, who was also winning his 100th cap that day, you might remember. Wherever Christian Eriksen is following this match tonight, I'm sure he'll be proud of the Danish performance so far, but they've been pegged back now. Brathwaite, though, down the right-hand side. Denmark are causing problems for England when they come forward. Brathwaite, though, is outwitted by Declan Rice, and then Harry Maguire plays it off the Barcelona man for an England throw.
Just as well Rice was there, because he got the other side of Harry Maguire far too easy.
Throw in for England that Shaw is waiting to take. Half-time approaching. We're in the 42nd minute, and this is a proper contest. Maguire spraying the ball high out to the right, where Walker takes it down. Saka comes short, but Walker will use John Stones, and Stones now rolls it out to the left-hand side here to Luke Shaw. Shaw with Mason Mount, Declan Rice, and now Wembley is in full cry underneath the arch, blue sky above, ideal conditions. And they're providing a spectacle now after that period of stalemate that we had in the game. Then we had the Danish goal, now we've had England's response.
Yeah, England first 12, 15 minutes good, then it came away from it, and then the last 10, 12 have come strong again.
Shaw on the left-hand side. Sterling turns full 360 degrees. Phillips makes a run, hair bobbing towards the edge of the D. In fact, Calvin Phillips is actually the England player furthest forward. As Kane drops deep. Kane then moves infield, 30 yards out. Square from him to Stones. Now Stones shapes a pass to Saka on the right, and the Arsenal teenager who set up the equalising goal uses Walker behind him. Back to Saka again. Saka now to Phillips. Phillips, his ball into the penalty area. That's headed away by Vestergaard. Comes out though, they want Maguire to shoot. He's 30 yards out, but he thinks better of that and gives it to Shaw. And then Shaw back to Rice. England threatening here to finish the first half strongly. We're in the 44th minute. Walker on the right. Here's the cross. Oh, he's got far too much on that. And actually, Shaw has kept it in on the left-hand side. Shaw drives it back across. He's put too much on that. Shaw and Walker are almost passing the ball.
I thought they're passing to each other
from the full-back positions. Still England press, though. The tempo is back up for Gareth Southgate's team. Shaw. Sterling behind him. Denmark have got everyone back in their defensive third. Harry Kane back towards Declan Rice, and then Rice just a little touch back to John Stones in the 45th minute now. Half-time just seconds away. Kane though on the left wing. Harry Kane. Sterling's closest to the edge of the penalty area. Saka over there on the far side of the box. Mount and Shaw combining on the left-hand side. Shaw comes in field, but there's too much congestion there, too many red Danish shirts. Mount, though, finds the pass, good one to Sterling inside the box. Then back it goes towards Kane, who plays it through, but Kerr comes across and is able to take a little touch and then put it out of play for a throw.
This is a great spell for England. They're really moving the ball well. I like to switch the play a little bit quicker. Kyle Walker's in some great positions if you can switch it from left to right a little bit quicker rather than pass.
45 minutes are up, and that is it. No time added on at the end of the first half. Well, there we are, honours even.
Been a great half. Denmark started slowly, very cautious. England got after them. You thought, wow, what a great start by England. Then they came into the game. Denmark scored an unbelievable free kick. Looked like a threat at times, but England finished that half, the last 10 minutes, very, very strong.
Karen Carney down behind the goal. Your thoughts on the first half?
Well, my biggest thought is the response. You know, we went behind for the first time and responded, and as Chris said, we dominated, but there are certain issues. That was the first time, though, that we got a positive attack down the right-hand side, and it was a really good attack. And we just got to be mindful of protecting Harry Maguire, because they're trying to get down on him on that side, because as bizarre as it sounds, our most rhythmic player is John Stones. He gets the ball off and he starts their attack, and they're really shutting him off and allowing Maguire to get on it, and that's where they're setting the trap. But lots of positives from that first half, but even more positive is these subs warming up, because it's scary watching them warm up knowing that they can come on at any point and make a difference.
So a first half of actually relatively few chances, but Denmark taking the lead with a stunning goal, one of the most stunning goals of the tournament through Mikkel Damsgaard on the half hour. But the own goal, Raheem Sterling forcing Simon Kjær to deflect into his own net after Saka's ball across, means that at half-time here at Wembley in the semi-final, it's England 1, Denmark 1, and Mark Chapman is here with us.
Euro 2020, live from Wembley on the BBC World Service.
Hello again from me, John Bennett. Hope you enjoyed the first half from Wembley Stadium on this special midweek edition of Sports World. Thanks to Chris, thanks to Karen and John, our team at Wembley. Denmark 1, England 1 at half-time in the Euro 2020 semi-finals. We'll be back for the second half. Well, this Danish European Championship emotional journey goes on, doesn't it? What a goal by Mikkel Damsgaard, but what a response by England as well, equalising 7 minutes before half-time. That own goal by Simon Kjær after great work by Bukayo Saka. Our football reporter Maz Faruqi is at Wembley. Hello, Maz. What did you make of that first half? It was a really good finish to that first half by England.
Yeah, they started really well, didn't they, John? And they ended it really well. But in the middle, it had all the ebbs and flows. Denmark sort of worked out how to neutralise them a bit, how to change the pace up. And just watching that Denmark side, they're so organised, aren't they? You look at their formation, everybody knows exactly where they should be, what their job is, what everybody else's job is. And that obviously was used to great effect at times in that first half. But England, we talked about it, Karen talked about it, not been behind yet in this tournament. How would they respond? And they responded pretty well at the end of that first half.
Yeah, they did. I mean, that is great character, isn't it? The fact that they hadn't conceded, that was the first goal they conceded for 8 games, and then to respond so quickly with that equaliser. We have to talk about the Denmark goal, though. What a strike. That's got to be one of the goals of the tournament, hasn't it?
An absolutely brilliant strike from Damsgaard. As we were sitting there and somebody said to me, look at this free kick, I've just got a feeling this is going to be something special. And he hit it so sweetly. Jordan Pickford, we've talked about this England defence, what a great tournament they've had. Absolutely no chance. I will not get tired of watching however many replays of that we're going to see, because it was such a fantastic goal from Damsgaard. And great celebrations as well from the players and from the Danish fans, the few of them that were inside Wembley Stadium. We've talked about what a journey they've all been on together. You can see how much it still means to them to be scoring goals and to be doing well in this tournament.
And you have to feel for Simon Kjær, who's had a great tournament. He's been one of the players of the tournament, scoring that own goal. But it was brilliant work, wasn't it, by Bukayo Saka? Do you think that justifies his selection from Gareth Southgate? Quite a big call to bring him back in for Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it, to make a change, even if it's just the one, to a team that's thrashed aside 4-0 in the quarterfinals. But even before that goal that he helped create, I thought he'd had a brilliant first 25, 30 minutes. You can see how much pace he's got, and I think that's why Gareth Southgate brought him back into the side. He is causing problems down the right-hand side. Still only 19, but showing such maturity. I've been really, really impressed by him in this first 45 minutes.
What do you think then second half? I guess the way England finished that half, you'd make them favourites in the second half, and Karen made a really good point there with the subs warming up. That's maybe where the difference will come. There's so much, there's quality on the Denmark bench, but that England bench is frightening, the amount of quality attacking players available.
Yeah, I think that's the difference with this England side, isn't it? This time round, this championship, than perhaps we've seen at previous major tournaments, is that Gareth Southgate's got the luxury of swapping players in and out, and you know that they can find a different way to play, a plan B, a plan C. With all respect to Denmark, I'm not sure they have that strength and depth in the squad that Gareth Southgate has, and obviously they've named an unchanged 11 tonight for the third game running. I wonder if there'll be some tired legs and some tired minds out there in the second half, and Gareth Southgate might think if he can switch things up and bring some pace on, perhaps a Jadon Sancho for the last half hour, that could make the difference.
And just quickly, Maz, you painted a great picture of the Denmark fans celebrating in the stadium. What's the atmosphere been like? It sounds so loud on the radio.
Oh, it's been amazing. The first 10-15 minutes when England were very much on top, the England fans were in full voice. It was so loud with the 60,000 fans inside Wembley Stadium. But then they started to get a bit nervy, and you could just hear a few grumbles in the crowd, a few worried noises as Denmark built back into that game. Obviously, then they scored. It went a bit quiet, but England, when they found their way back into it, the noise again just built up, and hopefully that continues in the second half. It's been an absolutely brilliant atmosphere, and one we've really missed at football games for 18 months now. A really special atmosphere tonight.
Thanks for now, Maz. We'll speak to you again very soon on the programme. Our football reporter Maz Faruqi there at Wembley. It is Denmark 1, England 1 at half-time in the Euro 2020 semi-finals. You're listening to the BBC World Service, a very special midweek edition of Sports World. We'll be back at Wembley for the second half live very soon. But let's change sports very quickly on the programme, because a great champion has suffered a big defeat today. Let's head back to Wimbledon, where the men's semi-final lineup is complete.
Match point, Berrettini, first serve. Goes right where he hit the first one on the last time, and he pulls the forehand on the inside, and it's just inside the baseline, and it won't be got back by Auger-Aliassime. And Berrettini lets out a roar. He cannot believe that he has managed to claw his way over the finish line in that match. Berrettini into the semi-finals of Wimbledon for the first time in his career.
Well, Matteo, huge congratulations. To get to your first Wimbledon semi-final, you've had to be a great opponent, a great friend. It was a big battle, but you have reached your first semi-final. How does that feel?
I don't know. He's probably one of my best friends on tour, so it's never easy to play against him. But I mean, that's sport, and I think I'm really happy.
Yeah, for people who don't know, you're great friends, you're hitting partners. Your girlfriends are connected as well, so you know your games pretty well. How do you approach a match like this?
Yeah, I mean, actually in Australia, when we did the quarantine 2 weeks, we practiced for two weeks together, so I think we kind of know each other pretty well. But we played just once in tournament on grass 2 years ago, but for sure he improved, I improved, so today was really tricky. I mean, it's always special to play such a nice court, so it was really difficult, and good luck for him, but now I'm happy for me.
And in terms of your own tennis.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
In terms of your own tennis, you came into here in such great form after the win at Queen's. With the shots that we see you playing, where are you in your own game? Is this some of the best tennis you've ever played?
I mean, I honestly don't know. I just know that I'm really trying to win every match that I'm playing, and every match is difficult, you know, it's different, and also it depends about the opponent. I think Felix today was playing for some part of the matches better than me, but I was just there. I asked myself to be tough, and I didn't care about the level. I just cared about the win, and I'm happy for that.
And just finally, your next opponent, I don't know if you know, is Hubert Hurkacz, who put Roger Federer out in straight sets. It's a huge opportunity, this semi-final, for both of you, isn't it?
I mean, for sure it's going to be a first time for both of us on grass in Wimbledon. Hubert, he's having a great season. He won Miami. He's playing good. Beating Federer in straight sets, it means that he's playing well. But, I mean, I feel ready. I'm feeling confident. So good luck to him, and let's see.
Matteo, huge congratulations. Well done.
So, as we're hearing there, Matteo Berrettini will face Hubert Hurkacz, who stopped Roger Federer's bid for a 9th Wimbledon title. Roger Federer knocked out in straight sets today. Novak Djokovic, just 2 wins away from equaling Federer and Nadal's 20 Grand Slam titles, will play the Canadian 10th seed Denis Shapovalov in the semi. Before we get back to the Euro 2020 semi-final, let me point you in the direction of a new podcast on the BBC World Service as we build, of course, to the Tokyo Olympics and the Paralympics.
Comedian Eliza Skinner, and this is On the Podium from the BBC World Service. We all love those superhuman moments of Olympic and Paralympic drama, but what exactly does it take to get to the top? And is there anything mere mortals like you and me can learn from those who have done it?
It's not our sight that determines our success. It's that ability to see a vision and do everything in your power to bring it into fruition, because you see it within yourself before it actually becomes something you can touch and see with your eyes and feel with your hands. And that's literally what gives you hope in times of despair.
When I started sports in general, I was such an angry, explosive child and didn't have anywhere to release that energy in a positive way where it's not going to be harmful.
We'll hear how the world's biggest sports stars cope under pressure.
I said, okay, Ines, forget the pain. Fans, enjoy. And suddenly, I don't know what happened. Beam. And I saw the Russian girl. She was totally lost. And I was more confident and more powerful. So I said, okay, this match is for me. And yes, I got it.
Extraordinary gold medal moments no one thought possible.
Today, I'm the only patient in that hospital room still alive. And if I would tell you, hey, I fought cancer and I won, it doesn't feel fair to them. So I hate that. I had the luck to recover.
And figuring all this out and many more of life's mysteries, Paralympian and world record holder Scout Bassett and the BBC's athletics commentator Ed Harry.
I love getting to airports early because I just want to make sure I'm not going to be late.
You like that?
I do, and I like buying a magazine and getting a coffee.
And the idea of sitting down for a coffee.
What, so we can get like $20 sandwiches and sit around? Come on.
What?
They've got you, Ed. They've convinced you.
I need to be in a future of air travel advert.
Get here a day early so you can browse the magnets.
A day early, that would be so him too.
So whether you're an elite athlete or like me, you get out of breath climbing the stairs sometimes, most times, there's plenty to enjoy. I love the idea of like 2 world-class athletes fighting tooth and nail over mini golf. Like, we're not moving on from this windmill until you admit you cheated.
And that's the thing, too. If he wins, then he's like, okay, let's play a game. I'm like, no, I don't want to play a game because now you're going to tell me that you're letting me win? No, thank you.
So join me and some of the world's most influential sports stars for On the Podium, wherever you get your podcasts.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's lovely to chat to you all. Yeah, it did feel like therapy, actually.
And you can subscribe now from your usual podcast provider, ready for the launch day on Monday, 19th of July. So it's Denmark 1, England 1 at halftime in the Euro 2020 semi-finals. This is how Denmark's goal, the opening goal, great goal by Mikkel Damsgaard, sounded on Danish radio.
Så den her bold, en dansk mur foran den engelske mur. Jens Røe Larsen går nogle meter tilbage her. Mikkel Damsgaard går til bolden og sparker. Mikkel Damsgaard! Han scorer Mikkel Damsgaard! Direkte på frispark! Danmark er foran 1-0 i EM-semifinalen mod England. Og så er der fuldstændig stille hos de engelske fans her på Wembley. Det er jo sindssygt. Man er 21 år gammel. Ja, men du har da set det spark 1000 gange. Ja, måske 1000 gange, men nu rigtig mange gange. Hvad den dreng ikke har øvet sig på i FC Nordsjælland.
They certainly did it justice, didn't they? Contrasting styles here. England equalised, and John Murray sounded like this.
Kane playing it through to Saka. Saka right side of the box. He's got some space. Plays it across. Sterling puts it in and equalises for England. Great play. Kane with a pass. Saka onto it. And Saka found Sterling in the 6-yard area. And the boy from Brent does it for England again at Wembley. And it's England 1, Denmark 1.
It is all set up for the second half. Denmark 1, England 1 at half-time. This is the BBC World Service, a special midweek edition of Sports World. So Mikael Damsgaard open the scoring. Fantastic free kick, flying into the back of the net. Then England equalised 7 minutes before half-time, an own goal from Simon Kjær, but brilliant work by Bukayo Saka, the Arsenal player, on the right-hand side. Brilliant low cross, turned in by Simon Kjær. You have to feel sorry for Kjær because he has been one of the players of the tournament. He's been a great example as a captain, great example as a player as well. Brilliant leader, but sadly he scored the own goal, which has meant that England are right back in this game. It is all set up, isn't it, for the second half? The players are back out. Doesn't look as though there are any changes for either team. England finished that first half strongly. Can they start the second half strongly? You will find out. We'll be back at Wembley very soon after the BBC News.
Hello, I'm David Harper with the BBC News. Haiti's interim Prime Minister, Claude Joseph, has declared a state of emergency, which grants the executive greater powers, just hours after the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. He was killed and his wife injured after gunmen attacked their home in Port-au-Prince, as Peter Bowes reports.
Unidentified attackers stormed the private residence of President Moïse. He was shot dead in what the interim Prime Minister described as a heinous, inhuman and barbaric act. Gunshots could be heard throughout Port-au-Prince following the attack, but Mr. Joseph said the police and the army had the security situation under control. He later urged the international community to launch an investigation into the assassination.
Gunmen who abducted more than 100 students from a boarding school in Nigeria on Monday have now issued a demand for food to feed the children. Anguished parents said they were told that a ransom demand would follow. More than 1,000 students have been kidnapped for ransom in Nigeria this year. The United Nations say there has been an overwhelming increase in child abuse in parts of West and Central Africa. The UN's Children's Fund said a third of all grave violations against children occurred in the region. Mary Harper has the details.
As well as Nigeria, which gets most media attention, UNICEF highlighted the Democratic Republic of Congo, where in the first 3 months of this year, there were more than 1/3 reported violations against children. In the Central African Republic, sexual violence against girls has increased 5-fold in the past 6 months. The UN says it's deeply concerned the abuse of children will increase in coming weeks before the movement of armed groups is restricted by the rainy season.
The World Health Organization has urged countries not to squander their hard-fought gains in combating the coronavirus pandemic. Its Director of Emergencies, Michael Ryan, said they must exercise extreme caution when lifting restrictions. The Lithuanian Prime Minister has said her country will build a physical barrier along its border with Belarus to deter illegal immigration. Ingrida Šimonytė has accused Belarus of organizing migration as part of a hybrid aggression against Lithuania.
There are travel agencies and direct flights that connect Minsk with Baghdad, for example, and there are agencies that operate and attracting tourists, I put that in inverted comma, to Minsk. We've detained some people who were having actually visas and invitations from Belarus tour operators while entering our country all of a sudden.
Last month, Belarus announced it was suspending a partnership agreement with the EU in response to recent sanctions. It warned that deteriorating relations would adversely affect cooperation on tackling illegal migration. World News from the BBC.
On radio, online and on mobile. This is Sports World on the BBC World Service.
Hello again from me, John Bennett. England won, Denmark won in the Euro 2020 semi-final. The winner will face Italy in the final. So how's it going to go? Let's rejoin our team at Wembley. Former England winger Chris Waddle and the BBC's football correspondent John Murray.
Shall we say competitive when either side have defended set pieces. And the referee is all over this. Vestergaard standing in front of Kane. So the free kick, Mount with the right-footed delivery. And it's headed by Maguire across the box. There's a collision there as well as he came together. I think it's Kier, the captain, who's down, and that's given us a yellow card against Harry Maguire. Well, it certainly was a shuddering collision between Maguire and Kier, and I think the suggestion is that Harry Maguire led with his arm.
Yeah, well, he's down, he's rubbing his head. It's a decent ball in. Maguire comes up, Kier comes out, attacks it, and it's his elbow that comes across, but he's no intent, he's just hanging up there to try and head the ball. It's definitely not a yellow card. Yes, it's a slight collision, but the referee's got that wrong.
Kier is still down on the ground. Kasper Schmeichel has come to have a chat with Harry Maguire, who sent him away, former teammates at Leicester City.
Yeah, there were two.
Behind the goal to Karen Carney.
Yeah, Harry Maguire was upset. He didn't think it was a foul, but look, Hair's down on the floor and Schmeichel's had to go over to kind of calm him down. I think Højbjerg as well went up to him, and I don't know if he trod on his toe, and I don't know if it was accidental, but it was Maguire's a little bit frustrated. He's got away now, and hopefully Kerr will be all right as well, because no one wants to see anyone down, but Maguire's slightly frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, they came together with some force. They are two big men.
Two big, yeah, both eyes were on the ball, John, so it wasn't as if Harry Maguire thought, yeah, I'll leave my elbow and lay. They both just jumped for the ball.
Well, they had the two medical people out there, they had a blue towel that was over the face of Simon Kier, and Kier is taking a lot of time here to get to his feet, and obviously, the protocols are being very carefully followed here. And the captain, who was inspirational, remember, Simon Kier, in the aftermath of Christian Eriksen's collapse in the first group match. And he's on his feet now. Back to Karen.
Yeah, I don't know whether Denmark are doing something tactically different, because Højbjerg's got everyone together, and now he's signalling to the bench. I don't know whether they're going to change shape or something, but I think the wing-backs might be different, but keep an eye out, because something might change in a second tactically for them.
OK, thank you, Karen. Well, Kier is OK, and he's able to continue, the Danish captain, the AC Milan man. And it is 1-1, and the lines are open for 6:06 on 5 Live. Kane challenged, no free kick. Vestergaard angles it. Here's Mæhle. Mæhle to Dolberg on his right foot. Danger! Pickford down to make the save. Oh. And the offside flag is up, but Pickford didn't know that, and he had to be down very sharply, full extension, to block it with his right hand.
How quick did that move? 3 passes on the 18-yard box, and it's a great strike, by the way. He is offside. It's a good save by Pickford down to the right-hand side. Gets a strong hand, his right hand onto it, but he was offside anyway. But that was 3 passes.
That's what you said to me, Chris, when we were talking in advance of this match, that's what Denmark can do.
Yeah, that's what they like. They love a counter-attack.
Free kick for offside then. England 1, Denmark 1. And I think no matter if it was offside, I think Pickford will feel good after making that save. Rice coming across. Clearly, judging by the conversation, what we were saying in the first half, things don't go England's way. There will be some criticism, I'm sure, surrounding the free kick that was scored by Damsgaard, but I think we should stress it was a brilliantly struck free kick. Lines are open for 6:06, 08 085 909 693. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton taking your calls. Here's Brathwaite, who's been quietly effective. Brathwaite, it is Brathwaite, by the way, even though it's spelt Braithwaite. That was an administrative error by the US authorities. There's not supposed to be an I in his name. Here is Strøyer Larsen on the right. Strøyer Larsen to Brathwaite, the number 9, angles it back. Højbjerg back to Brathwaite. Here's the cross. Pickford comes diving and gets both gloves to it. Saka can't reach it. He's challenged. Now Delaney, 25 yards out. Højbjerg tries to find Mæhle. The pass from Højbjerg gave him no chance on the twist. Straight out of play for a throw.
Yeah, well, we know Denmark are capable. We know that. I thought Jordan Pickford should have caught that, John. I'm just looking at the replay here. There's nobody near him. He's decided to put 2 fists on it. Yes, he's got it away and he'll say job done, but he could easily come out and caught that into his chest.
He's just developing into quite a central figure, Jordan Pickford, in this match. England 1, Denmark 1. Here's Damsgaard again, the dangerous Damsgaard to Brathwaite. Brathwaite scoops it forward, but Harry Maguire didn't get any contact on it that he would have wanted. Maguire clears. Kane now, the bouncing ball. He finds Sterling. Sterling cuts inside. Christensen, still Sterling through the middle. Ball played to Kane on the right-hand side. Kane allows the ball to run into the Danish left-back position. Kane with two men on him. Challenge comes in from Naylor, who's all over the back of Harry Kane, who goes down and wins the free kick in the Danish left-back position.
I've got to say, what is Naylor thinking there? He does well. He gets the ball away from Harry Kane. Harry Kane uses his body well across him. He just needs to stand him up, Naylor there. He's all over the back, Harry Kane. He's given a free kick away. And in a very, very dangerous position down this right-hand side.
Clumsy defending from the Atalanta defender. Free kick then for England. Mount just placing the ball. Saka is there as well, so there is the possibility of an in-swinger. But it's Maguire at the back post again, who surely will be the target from Mount, you would think. Harry Kane on the edge of the 6-yard box. Stones and Rice in there as well. Mount with the free kick. Maguire the target. Maguire with a header. Oh, what a save by Schmeichel. Diving to his right, clawed it away and kept it out from Maguire, who didn't get the absolute power on it that he would have wanted, but Schmeichel still had to make the save.
Yes, he did. It was a great save by Schmeichel, top-class keeper, but as you say, Harry Maguire did not get the power he wanted on that header.
England 1, Denmark 1 remains the score. BBC Radio 5 Live. Saka playing it forward, but steered back by Naylor to Schmeichel. Denmark passing it out from the back here, and Christensen peels away, and Wembley, the 60-odd thousand crowd. No, in fact, 64,950 is the official attendance. So just short of 65,000, and you know it as well.
You can hear them.
Looking around the stadium, 8,000 Danish fans in great voice. They are great travelling supporters. Not that they have travelled, these Danish supporters. They're all from the UK. Stones concedes a foul on the halfway line. But all around the three tiers, got the Danish royal family here tonight. Prince William is here. And it is a gripping match. I think it's gripping. Well, I know it's definitely gripping because England are involved.
Yeah, the atmosphere is good. And listen, we've seen some good attacks. We've seen some good saves, some bad misses.
And it is edge-of-your-seat stuff. As Vestergaard plays it through the middle. Here is Dolberg, 3 goals in his last 2 matches. Strøyer-Larsen arriving on the right-hand side. Strøyer-Larsen's ball to Brathwaite in the box. Brathwaite's low cross is blocked away behind by Maguire.
England's looking for offside. John Stone and Maguire keep putting their hands up thinking it's offside. The linesman did not put his flag up once. And it was a good move by Denmark, who's worked themselves a corner.
So Denmark at the Danish end now. That's the end they're attacking. Huge, big screen at either end in the top tier. Absolutely massive rectangular screen showing scenes of Danish supporters. Jubilant. 1-1 the score. Denmark's first corner of the second half. Strøyer-Larsen to take this. Again, a packed 6-yard area. No room for manoeuvre. Strøyer-Larsen, he could take it short, there is an option there, but he delivers it right across the penalty area. Maguire heads it down, but that is nipped away by Naylor. Now back to the right-hand side. And the ball is chipped across to the back post, but it had already gone out of play. Brathwaite at the back post blasts it wide from the angle into the Danish fans, but the ball had already gone out when it was delivered across. And it is by Damsgaard, and it is a goal kick to England.
It was Damsgaard. He just ran out of space, did he? He hesitated 1 or 2 times, and I don't know if it was completely over, by the way. I just saw the replay, which shows you along the line. I don't think that ball was out.
However, it's given Pickford, then with a clearance to Kane, wins the header on the halfway line, but the follow-up header is won by Strøyer-Larsen. Rice with Højbjerg, Tottenham against West Ham in that confrontation. Brathwaite plays it to the right, still 1-1. Keeping working late. Denmark went ahead in the first half, but England equalises. Dolberg goal with a left foot shot, which is straight at Pickford, who was able to just drop down onto his knees, didn't get the power on it, just across the surface of the grass as the ball was played in from the right. Nice turn by Dolberg. He's a very mobile centre forward.
He's very mobile. It was a good little Mate had a shout to say over, comes to him, 1 touch, turns, 2nd touch, hits 3. Good effort.
Still no sign of pulse and all. I think that is him. Yeah, he is continuing to warm up with a number of the Danish substitutes on the far side. England 1, Denmark 1. Pickford striking it away downfield. Kjær on the chase. Kjær plays it back across to Schmeichel. Made 2 important saves now. Schmeichel in the first half from Harry Maguire. In the first half from Sterling, in the second half from Maguire. But this one, cheers as the ball's put out of play. Throw in that Kyle Walker takes. Saka allows it to bounce across his body and then is able to work it to Mount. Now to Sterling. Sterling left side of the box. Shaw makes the run. Shaw to the byline. Double deflection and the ball spins away across the face of goal and is given as a corner. I'm not sure that had crossed the line either, but the assistant is down there. The Dutch assistant said it did. It's a corner.
I mean, we've seen this in the tournament a lot, haven't we? Sterling holds it up. Shaw times that run to perfection again. Yes, it is a deflection, but I don't think the ball went out again.
Corner. Mount to take this. Just down to our right. Mount raises his left arm. Outswinging delivery. Maguire with a header. Kane was looking for the ball to drop onto his foot, but it was just headed away. Shaw helps it back in, but Schmeichel's able to come and catch just under his chin. And then his delivery all the way downfield for Damsgaard, but Walker arrives at incredible pace. He just motored past Damsgaard, took the ball away and passed it to Pickford.
You just stop running when you see Kyle Walker come. You may as well just start jogging back.
To play. Half an hour to go. Neither of these teams have yet been taken to extra time at Euro 2020. 6:06 to follow, but it is possible it could start late in the evening. Walker back to Pickford. You had a very firm feeling last week, Chris, that the England-Germany game would be decided in 90 minutes. Not so sure today?
No, I'm not. The game's going on now. I'm watching it now. It's very tight.
Maguire back towards Jordan Pickford. Just takes a touch and then chips it out here to the right-hand side to Walker. The bouncing ball is awkward. I thought Walker used his arm there to sweep the ball away from Naylor. It's not given us a free kick. Here's Phillips on the halfway line. Phillips with the pass. Mount, I think, was offside. Mount takes it on into the box. Still Mount going and shoots. There's still no flag. Saka takes it on. Saka with a cross. That's headed away by Strøyer Larsen. And it comes out for Brathwaite, who turns away from Rice and Phillips and then passes the ball, beats both England central midfielders. Strøyer Larsen's pass, though, just gives it back to England.
I thought it was a cert offside. I don't know what the linesman's doing down here. I don't know if his fringe fell over his eyes or something.
Yeah, I'm like you. I just expected that offside flag to come, but it didn't. The AR might have had a word. Mount. And then Saka runs into Vestergaard again, and this one's not given us a free kick. Saka got one of these earlier in the half. I think we both felt he was fortunate to there, but he doesn't get this one. But Phillips puts in the challenge and wins it back from Damsgaard. Now here is Sterling through the middle, but Delaney comes across. Sterling, then Shaw arrives, but not the pace this time that England would want. Sterling turns, but Denmark are back in position now. Harry Kane, 30 yards out. Delaney arrives, so back it goes to Rice. Now Shaw on the left flank. Shaw's ball into Sterling, who tried to flick it for the run of Rice, just intercepted. Now Kane centrally. Kane is buffeted by a couple of challenges, goes down, no free kick given. Mount now on the edge of the area. He couldn't find a little pass through to Saka, and Denmark have got it back on the edge of the area.
Denmark defend very well. England's got to get, as I said, down the sides of the two centre-halves on the outside, the three centre-halves, just down there in between the wing-back. In between the wing-back and the centre-half. That's where they're going to get the space.
Dare I say it, against opponents like this, maybe Jack Grealish's trickery would be the sort of thing that England need. Phillips. Remember how he came on and unlocked things in the 20 minutes against the Germans. Here's Sterling. Left side Little ball into Saka inside the penalty area, trying to give it back to Sterling. It comes to Mount. Mount's with a curling shot, but it's saved by Schmeichel. Comfortably into his chest.
Yeah, it's all in front of them, isn't it? They're playing in front of this back three or back five. They're not getting down the sides or behind them anymore. It's all in front, getting a shot. I think Denmark will make 3 or 4, maybe 3 or 4 substitutions in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Well, they're starting to feel the pace.
Poulsen is coming on. He's getting his match shirt on. It's going to be a double change. Daniel Vass is going to come on as well, the Valencia player. And there's a Danish player, it's Christensen, who's down actually. So I think he'll delay the changes until we see how he is. So England substitutes are warming up on the far side.
Give it another 5-10 minutes if the Cavans. They've had a lot of possession in the second half. They've not really tested Schmeichel once, so I think that's it.
What happened to Christensen, who's the Danish player receiving treatment now?
I don't know.
Well, here the first change is Poulsen coming on, not for Dolberg, Chris, but for Damsgaard. So the Danish goal scorer, who's been really bright, is withdrawn.
Unless he's feeling the pace, John. You know, whether he's put his hands up or said, look, just give us an extra 15-20 minutes, I'm going to have to sub you. He needs to keep the tempo going. You know, he needs people who can run, Denmark. If he thinks he's come off the pace, then he's going to change it, and he has.
So it's the experienced Yusuf Poulsen who comes on, the number 20, long-time RB Leipzig man.
There's 3 coming on.
And does that mean Christensen has got a problem?
Norgard.
Now he's left the field on the far side. So Christian Norgard of Brentford is going to be one of the players coming on. I'm just keeping an eye on Christensen on that far side, who's
getting his...
having a little trot at the far touchline. Play is now back underway. It's 1-1, England 1, Denmark 1 in the semi-final. And Christensen trots back onto the field, not moving terribly easily. Schmeichel with an absolute bomb downfield that Stones only half clears, and then Walker also hits high into the centre circle. And Denmark have got it back down on terra firma now. Here's Kjær. It's going to be a three-way. Oh, Damsgaard is still on apparently, so it must have been Dolberg who came off. The graphic on our screen here suggested that it was Damsgaard, but is it Dolberg? And Strøyer Larsen is coming off. Certainly, we know that. Daniel Vass coming on to replace him. And he is going to take up the position.
Damsgaard going off now.
Damsgaard is now going off. So there he is. He is now being replaced by Yusuf Poulsen. So that change hadn't been made, but it has been now.
Yes.
And then the final change is, as you said, Chris, the Brentford man, Christian Norgard, coming on into the midfield, who is here.
He's come on for Dolberg
with Brentford in the playoff final. So Dolberg and Damsgaard off, and Strøyer Larsen. So a triple change for Denmark, for Kasper Hjulmand. England 1, Denmark 1. Almost midway through the second half. It's flying by. Saka up against Vestergaard. He's got the better of him, but Vestergaard was able to stab it away across his own 6-yard box, where it was taken down and cleared by his first touch of the match.
Well, they're getting a lot of joy. They're getting a lot of joy down these flanks now. The 2 wing backs, the 3 centre halves, the 2 right and left one, do not like coming out wide. They're getting beat every time they come out.
Saka. He's got Naylor up against him this time. Saka comes infield, left-footed ball, but it's beyond everyone, either in a red or a white shirt, and through for a goal kick. Chris Waddle.
I think, when you cross it like that, you get a bit of pace, you drop your shoulder, you go inside. I think you should just whip it for the far post, aim for the far post, and Jack Grealish, as you can tell, is coming on.
That reaction told you who was coming on for England. Mr. Popular from Villa Park himself. And it's Saka who is withdrawn.
To be fair, John, looking at it, I would have took Mount off I think Saka's posed a threat down this right-hand side. He's getting into the game more and more. He's caused a big threat down this side. Vestergaard's not enjoyed playing against him when he's getting one-on-one. He's moved Sterling onto this side, you would think that's enjoyed. But Jack Grealish will take that left-hand side up, which we see him play for Villa.
So here he comes then. Jack Grealish is on for the last quarter of the match, the last quarter of the 90 minutes of this semi-final, which is still level at England 1, Denmark 1. Jack Grealish coming on for his 11th cap, yet to get his first goal. Be a good time to get it. Here's Vass on the right-hand side. Vass, the blonde-haired right wing-back as he is. Brathwaite, Poulsen taking up a position through the middle, but as it was played in field by Brathwaite, he was caught late there by Luke Shaw, and that's a free kick to Denmark out on the right-hand side.
And they'll not rush this. They'll get the big centre-halves up there. This is going in the box, no doubt about that.
So Denmark organising themselves. Ball's been put down by Vass. It's almost halfway inside the England half, down the right-hand side. 1-1 the score. Vass swings it into the penalty spot, but Maguire was underneath it to head it out towards that far side. And out of play. Vass was able to get the ball back. Just a few yards away from the corner flag. Vass takes it to Højbjerg. Højbjerg turns to his left, then gives it back to his right to Vass. Vass with a cross, but straight onto the head of Rice, who was the first man really for England, and was able to head it away, and it bounces out of play. You could hear it hammering into the microphone on the far side of the field.
It was a good free kick in the first one, a lot of pace on it, but Vass put in and nobody attacked it, and Harry Maguire heads it away, but that was a really good delivery.
England 1, Denmark 1. We're getting into that period of the match now with 20 minutes to play, where everyone here assembled, 65,000 people, will know that the next goal could win it. Shaw with a throw. Harry Kane deep inside his own half, back to Shaw. Pickford takes a touch near the byline and then clears it out of play.
I'm not happy with these linesmen, by the way.
You think that was over the line?
I think I'm quick on them.
Throw-in for Denmark. It's taken down towards the byline, but Harry Maguire does the job, turns, clears it away. Vestergaard is underneath that, but he hits it behind Mæhle, and Mæhle's going to do well to keep this in, but he does. And the big Southampton man, the number 3, Vestergaard, passes it over the halfway line to Delaney. Now Brathwaite through the middle, but Phillips in with a challenge. Kane got there first as well, might have been caught. Grealish, though, is going to take it on, and in comes Vass with a challenge, just leans into him. Down goes Grealish, a most familiar sight. And the Aston Villa captain wins a free kick, and Vass is pooped.
He's just come on as well. I mean, it is a free kick. Jack Grealish does that very, very well, doesn't he? Gets people to get close to him, and he hits that. Any little nudge, he's down, and he wins free kicks so easily.
It is really, it's a most effective part of his armoury, winning free kicks. Shaw is going to take this. So we are into the last 20 minutes now here at Wembley Stadium. Still blue sky above on this July night. And England with a free kick. But Shaw will take now. High towards the back post. Stones was the target this time, but it was headed away. Comes out to Phillips. Phillips on the right-hand side. Back to Mason Mount. Mount to Sterling. Now on the right-hand side. The ball is cleared away. The challenge came in on Sterling. It's Grealish, though. White shirt, already muddied. He's played the ball behind Declan Rice, and Rice, though, does well, recovers it, gives it to Harry Kane. Kane now, expectation rising among this 65,000 crowd. Mount on the right, Mount with the cross, Schmeichel, backpedaling Schmeichel, was struggling there for a moment, and leaning back, he managed to claw it over the crossbar.
He didn't mean it, he's trying to stand up at the far post, he's mishit it slightly, but it's got the crowd going. Schmeichel backpedaling, strong right hand, flicks it over the bar, corner to England.
Of course, it's very natural for a Dane to lean back. Here is Grealish into the penalty area. Grealish back to Mount. Mount's ball across the penalty area. Sterling turns, shoots, but that's blocked at close quarters on the edge of the penalty area. And it's cleared to Phillips. Phillips through the middle to Rice. Rice now leaves it to Kane. Kane turns away from two challengers. And the ball runs away from the England captain. The challenge came in on him, but the free kick had already been given before Kane actually made that burst into the box. And Harry Maguire is actually rather concerned about Harry Kane. Maguire ran straight across to Harry Kane, who under that challenge nearly took an awkward fall. He had his right foot stood on by Norgard, but the whistle had already gone.
Yeah, he'd already blew the whistle. Harry Kane's getting up. But I'll tell you what, if he hadn't already blew the whistle, John, looking at the replay, that was a pen.
Yeah, but he had already given the free kick. Down to pitch side and Karen Carney again.
My initial thought was penalty because, I don't know, Harry Kane, I think he knew what he was doing, but then on the replay, looking back, referee looks like he's made the right decision, but there's a lot of appeals around. You're right, Harry Maguire was straight in there. It looks like the VAR's over as well.
Yeah, the check is over. There was a check on that. That was actually given as a free kick against Harry Kane, where Schmeichel took the free kick, was in the box. It was given as a free kick against Harry Kane, but VAR had a look and decided it wasn't a penalty.
No, well, I think as you say, Johnny, blew before it and give it either way. He couldn't go against the referee's first decision, obviously, but England's knocking on the door now. Denmark look all over the place at the minute. They look stretched, they look a bit tired.
England 1, Denmark 1. Lines are open for the 606 phone in with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton on 08085 909 693. There'll be a long once we've wrapped things up here at Wembley, and you'll be able to hear all of the interviews, all of the fallout in the 5 Live Daily Euros podcast, which you can subscribe to on BBC Sounds. Either triumph or disaster, Chris Sutton said, would be the reaction. And in the next half hour or so, we'll find out which way, perhaps, as Shaw couldn't keep the ball in on the far side and Denmark come forward. Very tight, as both managers suggested it would be. England have had a better spell, but Denmark have made the changes. They've made 3 changes still. Gareth Southgate has just made the 1. Throw in for Denmark on the right wing. Poulsen comes short, gives it back to Vass. Vass's ball in towards the edge of the penalty area to Delaney. Norgard now. Norgard, who'll be playing in the Premier League next season, of course, which is just really a matter of days away, believe it or not. Ball in the centre circle with Højbjerg. Højbjerg turns out to the right-hand side. Christensen, who seems to have shaken off that knock. Now Vass again. Vass. Delaney, left-footed cross from him, right across the England penalty area. Walker backs away, and Walker allows it to bounce behind. For an England goal kick, 1-1.
Denmark's not offering a lot going forward. They're okay in possession when they play slow. When they get up to that final, that's 30 yards, isn't it? They've not offered a great deal. If anybody is going to score, at the minute, you can think it's got to be England.
Poulsen, who's now effectively the man up front, has got a couple of goals at the tournament in the defeat against Belgium and that rattling win that they had against Russia in Copenhagen. What a night that was. One of the nights of the tournament. Sterling back to the halfway line to Walker. England 1, Denmark 1. Walker making ground, but 2 Danes in front of him. Sterling peels away, receives it. In comes the challenge, and it's a good one as well to win it back by Norgard. But then, likewise, excellent challenge from Maguire. He was caught late as he plays it forward. Denmark intercept. Maguire's back on his feet in the centre circle. And the ball is put out of play because Christensen's down again.
I think he's struggling now. He did not need that, did he? To reach that ball across there, he had to stretch all of his leg, everything. He did not need that.
Oh, you felt that one, Chris. Yeah.
He's got to be struggling.
Oh, yeah, I think he's certainly got a touch of cramp as well as everything else. Back down pitch side to Karen.
Well, Christensen, he had his hamstring heavily taped up, and I mean heavily taped up. And you're right, he didn't need to do that in terms of his injury status stretching out. I think that's him done now, but you know, it's disappointing from an England perspective because you feel like Jack Grealish running at him, a slight injury. You fancy chances clearly, but they're going to be forced into a change now, Denmark.
Yeah, the Fulham man Joachim Andersen, who's on loan at Fulham last season from Lyon, is just waiting there to come on to replace the Chelsea Champions League winner, whose semi-final is over, Andreas Christensen. So Joachim Andersen relegated with Fulham this season, although actually acquitted himself very well during the course of the campaign. He's on to replace Christensen.
Yeah, we've seen him play at Fulham, very good on the ball, lacks a bit of pace, which might help England, but reads the game well.
And players back underway as the ball is given back to Denmark. So England 1, Denmark 1. Extra time looks a decent bet, but we're not ruling out the possibility of someone snatching it. Free kick, Shaw wins it on the halfway line, and now there's a bit of trouble there. I see that I think Mason Mount shoved away Norgard,
Mount,
and the referee Macaulay was quickly across, and I think we'll just speak to them both. You know, England don't want to find themselves down to 10 men in this scenario.
No, especially when they're dominating the play. All right, they're not making Schmeichel work hard enough or creating enough yet, but they are definitely the team who look like most likely to score.
Grealish plays it through. I think he was caught late as well. Plays it through to Mount inside the area. Now the ball in from Shaw, but it's cleared away by Kjaer. Phillips is going to try a shot, but Schmeichel diving down to his right. It was a yard or more wide of Schmeichel's right post.
I think you're being a bit generous there, but it was worth an effort, wasn't it? But England are the team with all the energy. They're asking the questions. Denmark at the minute are just hanging on.
England 1, Denmark 1. Prize of England around Wembley. This is England's 7th semi-final, and they've not won one since their first in 1966, when Portugal were beaten here, Eusebio and all. Bobby Charlton put England 2-0 up, and in the end they won it by 2-1 to reach that final. This one all square at 1-1. Anderson clears it, but puts it straight out of play on the halfway line. Gareth Southgate in his black suit with that dark blue thin tie claps his hands, and the ball's out for a throw-in on the halfway line. 10 minutes to go. England 1, Denmark 1. England left it late against Germany. If it comes, it'll be Grealish, but Grealish's touch for once lets him down there, and Denmark look to play it away to Mæhle. Mæhle now. There are 3 Danish runners. Up it goes to Brathwaite, who hit it. Well, he had 2 options there, and he played it behind both of them. So England counter that counter-attack. But Denmark very quickly back in possession, and Mount is fouled by Delaney, and it's a free kick to England halfway inside Denmark territory.
What an opportunity Denmark had on the break there, 4-3. The wasted opportunity. England come back. Mount gets a free kick off Delaney, who's not pleased about it, but it's another chance to put the ball in the box.
Gareth Southgate has spoken about the quality tournament football, winning matches late. I remember that famous Nations League game against Croatia when Harry Kane scored a late winner. The noise that day was incredible too. Well, we're now into the closing stages, and it's an England free kick. And Shaw, left-footed, swings it in. Glancing header from Stones, drops wide of the far post. He was stretching for it, twisting.
Difficult angle, John, to get that ball into over the top for them to attack. If it goes too far, the goalkeeper picks it up quite easy. It was a hard ball. Maybe even better taking a short one and trying to work it a bit higher up the field before they put the cross in.
We're in the 83rd minute now. Denmark are taking all of their time over this goal kick. The Wembley crowd urging Schmeichel to get on with it, which he does now. Long one downfield to Poulsen. Poulsen, Stone's very tight on him there. Poulsen played it back. Now Mæhle on the left-hand side. 6:06 on the way. 08, 085 909 693 to talk about the semi-final with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage. Højbjerg, low and infield towards Poulsen, who rather telegraphed his shimmy. Højbjerg plays it across field. He's put it straight under the chest of Grealish, but it bounced off Grealish's chest and is fired forward towards Poulsen. Poulsen now square, Norgard to Delaney, steers it out to the right-hand side to Vass, and then Vass will actually go back into the centre circle. 1-1. Less than 7 minutes to play. before the 90 are up. The odds are shortening on extra time, just like last night here, when Italy and Spain went all the way. Anderson to Bass on the right. This is Danish possession that we're witnessing now. Ball carried forward and given to Poulsen. Now out to the right-hand side. Brathwaite waiting in the middle. A little change of pace, and then the cross is poor from the far side from Delaney. Over everyone inside the area and bouncing through for a goal kick.
It was good football, though. Good patient football, making England chase. England couldn't get near them. But again, when you get that final third, that's all the difference in the football match, isn't it? Not seen enough quality in the final third.
Massively high stakes. The place in the final awaits. England's last 4 semi-finals have all gone to extra time. And this one might be added to the list. Pickford with the goal kick. Pickford strikes it away downfield through the middle. Kane is beaten in the air by Kier. And then Delaney is chesting it out to the far side. Bass gives him it back. Delaney's ball across. Maguire getting his shirt blatantly pulled by Poulsen, who concedes the free kick and is not yellow carded. Rather surprising.
Maguire's going mad that he's not yellow card. It is a yellow card in today's rules, no doubt about that, though. Well,
so England get it moving again. Sterling switched across to the right-hand side, Chris, and we've just not seen as much of him, Raheem Sterling.
No, but Grealish is very effective on that left. I've not seen Jack Grealish actually play on the right-hand side as much, so it would be a little bit of an experiment if you put him over this side, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, most certainly. Here is Maguire, takes it out towards the left. You certainly deep lying position, Jack Grealish. However, he holds it up and then plays it to Walker, and Walker finds Sterling on the right flank. Walker on the overlap. Sterling, though, goes infield towards Grealish. Grealish's pass is cut out by Højbjerg for Denmark, and Højbjerg is able to find his pass to Poulsen, who's looking for Brathwaite, but Stones is able to get up and win that one now. Declan Rice in with a challenge, but Norgard got there first, and Bass is able to see it back into central defence. England 1, Denmark 1.
When you think, John, England's only made 1 sub, so they could put 3 on in extra time, 4 if they wanted to really freshen this up and go for it.
They could, but it's at the moment, it's quite open.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of tired players and they're all looking at the clock. They're not daft. They'll know what it is. They're not going to take a risk. If it goes to extra time, it goes to extra time. And Denmark will be delighted at the pace of the game at the minute.
So 1-1, and we're in the 87th minute. Bass, low ball to Brathwaite. Now out to the right-hand side, chip back into the box, a stretch away by Stones and then headed away by Maguire. Poulsen takes it down, Norgard flicks it forward. England on the back foot here. Grealish has arrived in his own left-back position to take the ball down. The lovely velvet touch from Grealish with his hair swept back. Still has it near the corner flag, trying to turn it away. And then the ball breaks into the penalty area and it's blocked behind by Maguire. And Maguire has a word with Jack Grealish, I think, as if to suggest you just need to get rid of that.
Yeah, well, sometimes you don't like attacking players in the back in the final defensive positions, do you? But yeah, he could have just played it off him. He's tried to play it down the lane. Could have proved costly, but it's a corner.
Denmark are going to make another change, and it's Delaney, actually, who I must say did look a little like his race was run, and he stayed down there. So Delaney is off from the midfield, and it is the other Brentford man in the squad, Mathias Jensen, who is coming on as Denmark's 4th substitute. I think I'm right in saying. Or is that his 5th? No, it's the 5th substitute for Denmark. So that's the full complement in the 90 minutes. So the number 24 is on. It's a corner to Denmark. We're in the 88th minute. Bass takes this. It's a high one that is given as a free kick, conceded by Vestergaard, I think, who doesn't like it as he trots past the referee. But it's a free kick to England, 1-1.
Yeah, dangerous ball coming in. He's given free kick. Well, it was John Stones loses his foot, and the referee thinks he's pulled him to the ground. So it's a free kick.
The buzz goes around Wembley Stadium. Still no sign, even though Gareth Southgate and Steve Holland are in discussions over there. Ball is played back to Pickford. Pickford, high and long through the middle. Kane is after it. Bounces down, and Vestergaard just volleys it downfield. It bounces near the edge of the area. Pickford is able to come across and gather it as it bounced up and then underarms it out to Maguire. And now here's Shaw. Shaw goes between two Danish players, uses Calvin Phillips. Now back to Walker, to the right-hand side for Rice. And then Sterling takes it up, uses the available Calvin Phillips. Phillips to Rice. Phillips in a position where he set up the goal in England's opening match. Remember that little run-in from the right-hand side against Croatia, which ended with Sterling opening the scoring. Here is Sterling, back towards Stones. Stones now picks out Shaw. Shaw has Grealish available on the left-hand side. Grealish against Bass, then flicks it to Shaw. Shaw now moving in field, moving into the penalty area. Shaw works it across, and the ball bounces away from both of them. However, Rice is able to reach it first on the edge of the area, ahead of Mela. Mela takes him out wide, and then Rice is able just to keep it with Mela very close. Walker now, square from him. Kane has a look over his shoulder. Phillips left-footed to Shaw. Shaw 30 yards out, back it goes to Phillips. We're now in the 90th minute, 1-1 the score, and Naylor steps in to get his head to it, and it drops out of play, and it's a throw-in to England, just down in front of us here. We'll see shortly, 15 seconds, how many minutes are to be added on before we would have extra time. Throw is taken back to Maguire in the centre circle. Maguire brings it forward, but then uses Shaw. 6 minutes of added time. That's the answer. 6 minutes for either team to score and win this semi-final. Otherwise, it'll be extra time. England coming forward with Walker. Walker works it across to Grealish. Grealish 25 yards out. Now forward from him. Shaw on the left. Shaw's cross in. Walker chests it off. Kane's got it down in the area. Kane's still moving from left to right. Is forced very wide, and then the challenge comes in from Mela, and the England captain is dispossessed. And Denmark have got it back.
You're just looking at a bit of quality in the final third. They've passed it around the 18-yard box basically all night. Nobody has a shot. Nobody's pulled a good cross off. Nobody's spotted somebody in the area where they can get a chance.
It's that old question, this stage of the game, whether there is going to be one more clear chance for glory to win the match and win a place in the final of the European Championship. Stones, forward to Maguire. England are on the front foot. Denmark, you can see the lines clearly. 5-3-2 behind the ball. Walker. Back to centre circle, the Stones. Maguire is there as well. Crowd urging England on. Shaw with the ball at his feet. Uses Leeds United's Calvin Phillips behind him. Again, England just playing the ball at walking pace.
There's a lot of people going towards the ball and having a touch, but there's nobody hurting them. You're running out of time. Somebody's got to be brave, spinning behind. Somebody's got to hit a pass like that.
Phillips it is with that pass. Looking for Rice, headed away by Mela. Comes out to Mason Mount. Mount has the option of Walker, but Mount now comes in field, uses Sterling. Sterling is able to find Walker on the right. Now back to Rice in the full-back position. He turns, gives it back to Walker. Walker's ball into the box, that's beyond Sterling. And that is comfortably cleared away by Norgard. And now Denmark might actually break as Shaw comes across, wins the ball back really well, and Poulsen pulls him back and concedes the free kick. England want to take this quickly. Poulsen again fortunate, perhaps not to be yellow-carded. That's a couple of them now.
There's a lot of tired challenges going in here. People's concentration levels have dropped. England's on the front foot without hurting Denmark. They're just playing in front of them. Put the ball in the box. Ask some questions.
Free kick's taken to Sterling. Sterling in the area on the right. He drives it across. A stretch and away by Vestergaard for Denmark. And it bounces out. And that was a very tired clearance by the big Southampton man who climbs to his feet. Schmeichel clears it downfield. Mount does well, actually nips it back, gives it to Sterling. Sterling now is able to get past Vestergaard, pull it back to the edge of the area. Kane is onto this, he might have allowed it to run to Grealish there. Phillips with the shot, left-footed, and it's high over the top left corner and into the crowd.
You've got to keep putting that ball, fizzing it across. I'm not saying put it in high, there's nobody there really going to head it in England's shape, but fizz it in there, it ricochets, it falls to you, you may get that chance. England's having too many passes without trying to create anything.
Couple of wrong options there by England. Kane could have allowed that to run to Grealish and Phillips rather than the shot. Grealish was available to his left, but he went for goal, went for that glory I was talking about. And it is a goal kick and another stoppage, another one of the Danish defenders. just taking his time to get to his feet. So England 1, Denmark 1, extra time looms at Wembley Stadium.
I think Denmark would take pens now, John.
Poulsen got his head to it, but it's cleared away for England up towards Harry Kane, who takes that. Wow, what a lovely touch that was, and he's past Vestergaard. Harry Kane still going, went down rather easily there from the pressure of Vestergaard, who you might have just heard howl in anguish towards the assistant, and referee Macaulay comes across and
I mean, I feel for him a bit. I don't think he's done a lot wrong. The first one was a great bit of skill by Harry Kane, but the second one, I don't think he's done anything wrong. Harry Kane goes to the ground, the referee blows. Oh, the line's been flagged.
Yeah, Harry Kane just felt the faintest touch there, and down he went, and he's won this free kick. And we are in the 5th minute of added time. A goal now from England, and they'd be in the final. Mount, high to the back post. Maguire with a header, but Schmeichel is able to leap down to his right and catch it just above ground level.
It looks like it's going to go to extra time, John, and Denmark will not be happy with that. They really are struggling. They've put nothing together in the second half, really. They've looked tired, leggy. They've made a lot of substitutions, and they're just basically playing on memory at the minute.
Still time to play. Oh, Phillips is just caught by Vass on the far side, who has to be careful because he's on a yellow card. And it is ball is out of play. I think it was already out, and it's a throw-in to Denmark. So we have 1 minute of added time before we'll bring you extra time. Vass. Oh, that was a little careless from Denmark there. Throw-in was taken. It's touched back to Vass, who couldn't stop it from going over the line. So it's a throw-in to England. Last chance for England in normal time. Walker. Sterling right out here on the right wing for England as they play from left to right. Sterling took his eye off the ball, but then nipped it away from Brathwaite, and Sterling now on a run into the penalty area, but challenge comes in on the edge of the box and it took it away from Raheem Sterling. The crowd vainly crying for a penalty. No chance of that. And then Højbjerg slices it into the stand.
Yeah, they're just hanging on here. They want the referee to blow. That should be time. That's 6 minutes.
6 minutes are up.
Yep, he'll be blown after this, I'm sure.
There is a throw to be taken. Just depends whether the referee is going to allow this, which I think he is. So England are sending everyone forward. This will be the last play of the 90-plus minutes. Walker spins that silver ball in his right hand. Up he comes for the throw. Hurls it in towards the near post. Flick on by Stones, headed away. Phillips, still we play on to Walker. Phillips again. Phillips with the cross. Glanced towards the back post, but beyond Grealish and beyond Vass. Grealish has it there. Still no final whistle. Grealish works it back towards the edge of the box. Mount chips it in, took a deflection, bounces away across the box. Grealish is there for England. Grealish's ball across. Kane shoots, it's blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box by Kjær, and that is it. England 1, Denmark 1, which was the score at half-time. And just like last night, it'll be extra time here at Wembley, just like Euro 96. Both semi-finals have gone to penalties. And for the first time, England and Denmark in this tournament will go to extra time.
Yeah, it's been a good game. England dominated the second half. Denmark have run out of legs. They'll not be looking forward to this extra time. England were all over them for the last 15-20 minutes. Need to score.
So extra time again for England in a semi-final. England 1, Denmark 1.
Euro 2020, live from Wembley on the BBC World Service.
Yes, hello from me, John Bennett, back with our team at Wembley very soon for extra time. We had extra time yesterday for Italy against Spain, extra time now for Denmark against England. 1-1 after 90 minutes, the Euro 2020 semi-finals, providing some great entertainment and some tension as well. This is so tense. I'm watching pictures now of both sets of players huddled around their managers. Actually, it's the Denmark players who are having a team talk at the moment from Kasper Hjulmand, the Denmark boss. England, a bit more spread out at the moment. No team talk as yet from Gareth Southgate. Maz Faruqi, our football reporter, has been watching at Wembley. This is tense, isn't it, Maz? I thought that England would nick it at the end because Denmark are looking really tired.
Yeah, they are, aren't they, in this second half? Just, you can tell that they've been through an awful lot in this tournament. And that Harry Maguire header from that set piece, that brilliant save from Kasper Schmeichel is what's kept Denmark in this second half, isn't it? That's the one bit of real quality, really, we've seen from either side in this second half. It's not the kind of finishing that we've been used to seeing from either of these teams in the knockout stage of this tournament. I think both sides are looking a bit tired, a bit leggy. But I think the big difference, obviously, for England is that they've only made the one substitution so far in Jack Grealish for Bukayo Saka. And Denmark have made all 5. It's a long old half an hour for them to come potentially of extra time with those players on the pitch now who are obviously very tired. And England, you'd think, would probably bring us some fresh legs quite soon into this first 15 minutes of extra time.
Yeah, and Gareth Southgate, Maz, is giving that team talk now. So Kasper Hjulmand straight away was talking to his players. Now Gareth Southgate has gathered everyone together. They're in a circle, all linking arms. All the subs are there as well. Even the players not on the bench have come over, the staff as well. And it's Gareth Southgate passing on some advice, and they're just breaking away from the huddle now, everyone clapping. Yeah, as you say, it's there for England to win it in extra time. Chris Waddle was saying that Denmark would take penalties now. Do you agree, Maz? Do you think Denmark will play for the penalty shootout now?
I think they will. I think, as we talked about at half-time, John, they're so well drilled. The shape that they keep it is so impressive that I think everybody will just kind of try and stave off, really, those England attacks. And they have frustrated England going forward. We've seen quite nice football around the 18-yard box from England today, but not a lot of incisive, decisive moves that have created scoring opportunities. Mason Mount's definitely troubled things down the right-hand side in this second half, but hasn't really been able to create too much aside from that cross that sort of Schmeichel was worried about and cleared for a corner. Denmark, though, haven't really created very much. Just looking down at my list here of chances in the second half, very, very little from them going forward. If England can find a rare bit of quality, they'll be able to nick this. But if it goes to penalties, as we know, you never know what's going to happen. See what Italy did last night on the back foot for much of the match, and they're into the final, as we know.
Yeah, Gareth Southgate at the moment just chatting to one of his assistants, Chris Powell, maybe making a tactical change. Doesn't look like they're going to change any personnel. But they will be back underway for extra time very, very soon. You're listening to the BBC World Service. It is Sports World. We're going to go to the news very, very soon. And then we'll be back at Wembley Stadium with John Murray, with Chris Waddle, with Karen Carney, our team inside the stadium. How tense is it inside the stadium then, Maz? What's the atmosphere been like, particularly towards the end of that second half?
Oh, definitely very, very nervy. I think people are around me starting to remember, certainly some of the older fans, of some of the frustrating opportunities or missed opportunities they've seen from England team down the years. As Gareth Southgate was saying in the build-up to this game, a lot of the younger fans don't remember the stress of being an England fan sometimes at major tournaments over the last 20, 30 years. And they're getting a taste of that now. It's certainly been a tense second 45, but you just know that everybody's on a knife and just ready to erupt if a goal were to go in. It's so nicely and finely poised, this match.
It does take you back to 25 years ago when England got to the semi-finals of Euro 96 playing Germany, went to extra time. It was golden goal back then. So the first goal would have won it, and Paul Gascoigne came so close to opening the scoring. Darren Anderton as well. Germany found the back of the net, but it was disallowed. I wonder if this will be just as tense now at Wembley Stadium as the first half of extra time is getting underway. We'll be back with our team very shortly after the news. Maz, just before I let you go, a word on Kasper Schmeichel. You mentioned his great save. He has been fantastic, hasn't he? Throughout the whole year in club football, but throughout this tournament as well, particularly today. What a performance again from Kasper Schmeichel.
His leadership on the field and off it as well. You can see just what an important player he is, as you know very well, for Leicester City this season with his club football. But with Denmark throughout this tournament, everything that happened in that first game around that situation with Christian Eriksen and everything that's happened since, you can just see that the team listen to him, that they look to him for leadership when they're under the cosh, as they have been in this second half. And he has been so solid. We've seen it in terms of some of the saves that he's made in the second half. And he's just such an important player for them and a great leader. He has been an absolute credit to Denmark in this tournament.
Neither side have made any further changes in extra time. Do you think, Maz, quickly, that we'll see an England change before too long? Or do you think Gareth Southgate will keep it as it is because they were playing so well towards the end of that second half?
I mean, I think he is quite cautious approach, doesn't he, Gareth Southgate? He tends to. He's got so many great players on the bench. You'd think perhaps 7 or 8 minutes, if they haven't been able to create many more opportunities, that he could mix it up, perhaps bring on a Jadon Sancho or somebody like that, because we know the kind of quality some of the players off his bench can bring.
Go on then, give me a quick prediction then, Maz. What's going to happen? We're going to go to penalties again like last night?
I've just got a feeling, John, that we are going to have the late drama again. Don't ask me why. I do feel that penalties, maybe it's 1996 when we had semi-finals there go to penalties. It just seems 25 years on that, it just seems like maybe that's going to happen again.
I agree. Thanks for now, Maz. I'll speak to you at the end of extra time, possibly at the end of the penalty shootout as well. Jordan Henderson and Phil Foden about to come on for England. So Gareth Southgate is going to make changes in extra time. It's still England 1, Denmark 1 at Wembley Stadium. You're listening to Sports World, special midweek edition of Sports World for the Euro 2020 semi-finals. We brought you Italy against Spain live on Tuesday night. Tonight it's all about England against Denmark, who have had a wonderful tournament despite the trauma of what happened in that opening game against Finland. And England as well. They hadn't conceded until tonight. They've had a great tournament. Can they finish the job, though, in front of their own fans at Wembley Stadium and get to the final? Or will Denmark win the game? We're back after the latest BBC News.
Hello, I'm David Harper with the BBC News. Haiti's interim Prime Minister, Claude Joseph, has declared a state of emergency, which grants the executive greater powers just hours after the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. Mr. Joseph announced that he had taken charge of the country after unidentified gunmen shot President Moïse dead at his home in Port-au-Prince. His wife Martine was wounded. Peter Bowes reports.
Gunshots could be heard throughout Port-au-Prince following the attack, but Mr. Joseph said the police and the army had the security situation under control and that a state of emergency had been declared. He later urged the international community to launch an investigation into the assassination. Jovenel Moïse entered office in 2017. During the past year, he'd been ruling by decree after the country failed to hold parliamentary elections in 2019. The Caribbean nation is facing a humanitarian and security crisis with worsening poverty and political unrest.
The White House called the assassination horrific and offered help with any investigation. Haiti's international airport has been closed and the streets of Port-au-Prince are reported to be quiet. Pascal Solage lives in the capital.
We are on our cell phones, our radio, our television, waiting for what happens next. And I think everyone in Haiti, every Asian citizen now are very scared. We lived a complicated situation during years now, but this morning it's more complicated and everyone is scared.
Gunmen who abducted more than 100 students from a boarding school in northwestern Nigeria on Monday have now issued a demand for food to feed the children. Anguished parents said they were told a ransom demand would follow. Ishaq Khalid reports.
The owner of the Bethel Baptist High School, Reverend Ishaya Adamujangadu, said the school officials spoke briefly on Tuesday with the gunmen and some of the kidnapped students. He says the abductees could be heard crying and pleading to be rescued. He said 120 students were being held. Initial reports suggested more than 140 students had been abducted in the attack on Monday. The Nigerian authorities say security forces are trying to rescue the school children.
The United Nations says there has been an overwhelming increase in child abuse in parts of West and Central Africa. UNICEF said a third of all grave violations against children occurred in the region. It said about 500 had been abducted in Nigeria in the last 6 weeks. There were more than 3,400 reported violations against children in the Democratic Republic of Congo in the first 3 months of this year. UNICEF said it was concerned that violence against children will increase in coming weeks before rain restricts the movements of armed groups. World news from the BBC.
On radio, online and on mobile. This is Sports World on the BBC World Service.
Hello again from me, John Bennett. It's England 1, Denmark 1 in the Euro 2020 semi-final. We're into extra time, the first half well underway. England on top. Kasper Schmeichel's just made another great save. A couple of changes for England. Jordan Henderson on for Declan Rice. Phil Foden on for Mason Mount. Let's rejoin our commentary team led by John Murray.
Towards Phillips. And then Phillips switches the play out to the right-hand side. Walker is there. Raheem Sterling still on the right flank. Jordan Henderson makes the run. Instead, the ball comes back towards Walker. Sterling. Little ball to Foden. Foden gives it back to Sterling, but in come the challenger. Sterling goes down. Play continues. Henderson with a cross. Kane at the back post, headed away by Vass. Comes out to Shaw, though. Shaw gets the ball down, crosses, comes off the back of Højbjerg and bounces immediately left out of play for a corner.
Yeah, they keep knocking on the door, England, but Denmark somehow find a way to just clear the lanes. They're just hanging in there, Denmark. England need that little bit more. We keep talking about it, but they do need that little bit more quality in the final third.
Still 1-1. Harry Kane has had some near-ish things tonight. Just waiting for a clear chance. England lining up near the penalty spot for the corner. Foden plays it into the back post. It's headed across goal, but cleared away. It was going wide anyway, I think. It was volleyed away. Foden back to Grealish. Grealish with a shot. It was just above Schmeichel, who threw his hands up and parried it. Foden into possession. He gives it to Grealish. Grealish into the penalty area. Little feet. And then Sterling. Lovely. Oh, and then gets underneath the shot in the D and sends it high over the bar into the Danish fans. Still 1-1.
Well, good effort by Grealish. Schmeichel does the right thing. Just punches it away. It's coming at him, moving everywhere. Comes back eventually to Sterling, who gets the space, but just got to hit the target. Goes really high into them Danish fans behind the goal, waving their flags and cheering their team on. Denmark's hanging in.
They are hanging in. They haven't given up on one more chapter to this amazing story that they have been a part of at Euro 2020. Denmark at England on the attack again, and the free kick won by Walker out on the right-hand side. And England can send the bodies forward again. In fact, it's a quick free kick they take to Sterling. Then back to Walker. Across it comes to Jordan Henderson. Henderson turning and giving it to his left. Maguire. Kasper Schmeichel in the Danish goal. He's been beaten only by the own goal, Simon Kjær own goal so far tonight. Football's coming home, they're singing. That is very much in the balance. Sterling on the right. Sterling back towards Walker. Schmeichel's been booed from time to time this evening. I think that might have been the result of his reaction to being asked yesterday if football might be coming home. Here's Maguire. If you didn't hear it, Schmeichel said, I'm not sure it's ever been home, has it? Here's Foden on the right side. Foden twisting. Now coming in field. His pass, though, is straight at Højbjerg, the Danish midfielder, who can see it back to Schmeichel. Into the centre circle, Poulsen gets up and wins the header. But England just take up possession again with Walker, who allows it to roll out of play. What have we had now? Almost 10 minutes of the first period of extra time. The potential of penalties is looming. Phillips to the left-hand side. Twice England have lost semi-finals on penalties. And of course, one of them was here at Wembley at Euro 96, when you know who missed the crucial penalty and the Germans then scored the winner. Here's Foden. Foden on the right. Foden looking for the overlap now. Henderson with a cross, but Vestergaard is the near post, the ever-willing Vestergaard to head it behind England. Corner.
They just see that one chance. They've got all the ball. Denmark cannot get out of half. They can't put three passes together. I don't think they've got the energy. They're just hanging in there, waiting for that whistle.
We've got almost 65,000 people inside Wembley Stadium. If England do get that chance, that clear chance, and get it into the net, I think the arch might take off. Foden with the corner into the near post, but that's headed away firmly for Denmark. Now Walker again. Foden wants it on the right-hand side. Instead, it's Grealish who takes it. Grealish. Again, everybody drops back. Braithwaite was up front, but has dropped back into centre field. Luke Shaw on the left-hand side, but there's no pace in this from England. Just knocking it around inside Danish territory. Phillips, Maguire. Maguire looks forward, but goes back to his right to Stones. Now Walker again on the right-hand side. Foden is there. Foden back from that right flank. Now it comes in towards Stones and Maguire centre field. This is all in the central third. England just moving Denmark from side to side. Henderson takes it up now. Henderson moving in field, but as the challenge comes in, back it goes from Jordan Henderson to Harry Maguire, those two who are both big doubts for this tournament, remember. Now to the right-hand side to Sterling. Sterling up against Mela. Still going for the byline, going to try and get round Mela into the penalty area. Sterling still going, and then down he goes. It's a penalty to England. Mela protests, but Sterling beat him, and as Mela put in the challenge, down went Sterling, and England have a penalty.
Yeah, it's definitely 10 from where we are. We're quite a long way away, but Sterling again goes past Mela, and he does it now to keep it. He just basically, I'm getting the benefit of a replay. Oh, I'm not sure if it is.
Is it?
No, I think if it goes to VAR, I'll be very surprised if he gets this. He pulls his foot away. No, I'll be very surprised if he gets this.
He's gone down. Is there enough? Is there contact?
No.
Is there contact?
No.
I'm not sure there is. Well, the VAR check is taking place now.
It's not a pen, no.
And there is every likelihood this will be overturned. This is a very big moment. The video assistant referee, Paul van Berkel, is looking at it. On our screen, it still says, checking the foul resulting in the penalty. The question is that a dive? Is it a dive by Raheem Sterling? Was there contact? And the referee says it's a penalty.
Oh, he's not even gone to the screen. He's just gone off what he's been told.
Well, that is a controversial one, and no mistake.
Very controversial, by the way.
Well, Paul van Berkel could be the toast of England tonight after not overturning that penalty. Decision by DaneMark. So it's Harry Kane, who has scored his last 11 penalties for club and country. Harry Kane against Kasper Schmeichel. Kane slowly takes steps back and is ready to take the penalty for England. Oh, Schmeichel saved it, but Kane is there on the rebound, and Kane buries it into the back of the net. What incredible drama in the semi-final. And England, having been 1-0 down, now lead by 2 goals to 1, and their sights are now on the final. England 2, Denmark 1.
Oh, this stadium, the roofs come out. It's unbelievable, the noise in this stadium. Harry Kane has a bit of good fortune. Kasper Schmeichel stands big, goes to his left, can't keep a hold of it, comes back out, and Harry Kane's the first one to react, puts it in the bottom corner on the other side. That surely is England through to the final.
But what a controversial penalty award that will be. Schmeichel went down to his left, saved the penalty, but he could only parry it, and Kane was first to it on the edge of the 6-yard box to sweep in his 38th goal for England. And that is the goal that could do it. That's the goal that could see England into the final on Sunday night. England leading Denmark by 2 goals to 1. We're still in the first period of extra time. Let's go pitch side to Karen Carney.
He's absolute scenes! Absolute scenes! Everyone's jumping up and down, waving their shirts, waving their flags. This is what football's all about. But fantastic, you know what? Good for Kane to recover after the miss. He was quickest to react. It's absolutely going off here though.
That's behind the goal to our right. Harry Kane scored at the other end. Still 15 minutes or more to play. But Denmark will feel greatly aggrieved.
I've got to say, John, what is VAR all about? I mean, it clearly shows that he doesn't touch him.
We've seen that 3 times now.
Yeah.
And the contact on Sterling is really not clear at all. So England lead by 2 goals to 1. And Denmark have taken off Vestergaard and brought on Jonas Vint. Who, if you remember, he was one of the Danish players who was most distraught when Christian Eriksen collapsed, and actually hasn't played in the knockout stages. Here come England again. Harry Kane goes sprawling down as the challenge comes in, and that is given as a free kick to England. And now England in absolutely no hurry. I see Jordan Henderson goes across and just slaps hands with Kyle Walker, and England with a free kick on the right wing.
Yeah, Harry Kane again goes down. The Danish players are saying he's just fell over so easy, but the referee again gives them the free kick. I think he's going to bring on Trippier now.
So Jonas Wind, so change of system from Kasper Hjulmand, chasing the game now. One of the central defenders has come off, and Jonas Wind is on. Free kick for England on the right. Foden, as it's taken short. Foden just has a little foray forward towards the edge of the box. Shaw, now he drives it on to the left-hand side to Grealish. England trying to press on the accelerator here and get a third goal that you would think would likely put the match beyond Denmark. Foden loses it near the edge of the penalty area. Denmark have got it back. And now Norgard will roll it across. We are in added time, 3 minutes of added time at the end of this first period of extra time, and we've already played 2.5 of them. So 2-1 it is. Harry Kane now moving on to 4 goals at Euro 2020, all of them in the knockout stages. And he's just one behind the top scorers, Schick and Ronaldo. Denmark with a throw on the left-hand side. Flick by Mæhle. Still Denmark come forward. It's Mæhle again. And then the referee says the ball is out of play. And it's a throw-in to England. And that is it. That's half-time in extra time. And England, as you can hear from everyone inside Wembley Stadium, you can hear the reaction that tells you that England are 15 minutes away from the final. England 2, Denmark 1.
Euro 2020, live from Wembley on the BBC World Service.
Oh, the drama. This is the BBC World Service. Hello from me, John Bennett. Thanks for listening to Sports World tonight. What a game we have been listening to. Back with our team inside Wembley very soon for the second half of extra time. The Euro 2020 semi-finals. England have the lead. Denmark 1, England 2. But that was controversial, wasn't it? That Raheem Sterling decision. He went down, the penalty given, Harry Kane stepping up, Kasper Schmeichel making the save, and Harry Kane scoring on the rebound. They're showing pictures of the replay on the TV screens now as the England players take on drinks before the second half. That was a really controversial penalty. Let's bring on our football reporter, Maz Faruqi. Maz, I'm going to say that I thought that was never a penalty and VAR should have reversed it. What do you think?
I think you're right, John. I think if Denmark go out to goal, especially because Kasper Schmeichel made such a great save initially to block the Kane penalty, and then obviously wasn't able to scroll across to save the rebound. I just think it's a very, very tough decision on Denmark. You can see how furious Vestergaard was with that decision made by the referee. But I think the moment, isn't it, is that VAR can't overturn something unless it's a clear and obvious error. And it was a very subjective decision that from the referee. Felt, even though the touch was very slight, that there was just enough on Raheem Sterling as he went down. You know, you think back to that coming together with Harry Kane and Denmark defender in the second half, and you think actually maybe that looked more like a penalty than this incident. But yeah, if Denmark go out because of that goal, I think it will be really, really harsh on a team that brought us so much joy at this tournament.
Gareth Southgate now giving a team talk. All the England players gathered around him in a circle, and they're all hanging on his every word. And yeah, they're so determined, England, to hold on to this. I wonder if they'll start sitting back now and defend, or will they go for the third, do you think, Maz, with Denmark tiring?
I think Phil Foden coming on has really energised England going forward, hasn't he? And when you have Phil Foden on the pitch, I don't think sitting back is something that you can do as a team. But you've got Jordan Henderson there as well in midfield, who obviously will add so much experience and resilience to sort of shore up that defence as well. I think England will stop playing. Trying to defend a one-goal lead is very tough, isn't it? And maybe I think there's a chance for both these sides here, for Denmark to try and get back in it, for England to take it away from them. But I still think with 15 minutes to go, we've got chances of more goals yet.
Let's find out, Maz. We'll speak to you after extra time, possibly after penalties, if Denmark get another goal, if they can equalise. And Kieran Trippier is about to come on for England. Simon Kjær has just given a team talk to his teammates, the Denmark captain, just to urge them on. Can they get back into this game? It's Denmark 1, England 2. Let's rejoin our commentary team. They've been great so far tonight. What's going to happen in the next 15 minutes? Chris Waddle, the former England winger, and the BBC's football correspondent, John Murray.
He's been substituted. And Kieran Trippier has come across to the right-hand side, so it looks as though England are now a back three central defenders, with Kyle Walker dropping in there and Kieran Trippier playing as the right wing-back. So Grealish has been sacrificed. Foden making a run forward, though, and Foden now into the box, not far away from where Gaza lifted the ball over the top of Colin Hendry with that silver hair up. Thought for a moment there we might be about to see something spectacular, but he's been forced out to the far side and has won a throw-in.
That's a good run in behind, especially when you've got tired legs that that back three of Denmark have got. He's come on, Foden looks fresh, and he's got to keep asking questions running in behind.
So Kieran Trippier coming on for England to win his 32nd cap. He's another of the men who has that semi-final experience with England from Moscow back in 2018. England, the clock ticking down. 14 minutes to go. I promise I won't say it every minute, all the way through the 15. But it is 2-1. England, who trailed in the first half after Damsgaard scored with the free kick. But the own goal 9 minutes later brought them level. Same score all the way through the second half. But then, crucially, that moment in extra time when Raheem Sterling won the penalty, Marla putting in the challenge, and the referee giving the penalty, and now he's just blown the whistle because Kyle Walker on the halfway line, I think, kicked the ball away. It was a free kick. It was England's free kick, and the ball was actually kicked away by England, and the referee's not having any of that. He spotted that. England's attempted game management. You can't beat the Italians at that, Chris.
No, he's not. I think the referee's had a funny game. Some decisions he's got right where you thought, well done, but there's a lot tonight where you can question him.
Yeah. I'm not sure the Danes will call it a funny game.
No.
If it stays like this. The ball smashed away out of play for a throw-in on the halfway line. So, throw-in to Denmark. England, Gareth Southgate talks so often about how the game management is all important in a tournament. Something that they've learned, something they've tried to craft, and now that's what they need. But it's Denmark who are trying to put in one last mighty effort. And the ball from deep from Anderson is overhit through. Tried to play it over the top from the angle for a run of Brathwaite, but it was beyond the Barcelona man and through for a goal kick to England.
Yeah, it was too flat, wasn't it? It was never going to hit the run. It was hitting too low, too pacey. He needed to hang that up at the far post.
And England, well, the ball's been rescued from over near the hoardings. Jordan Pickford's run all the way out to the penalty area. I'm surprised the referee isn't taking issue with this.
The Danish players have had a go at the referee, saying what's going on here. That's three in a row now.
England are blatantly wasting time here. Not that 65,000 people, or the most of them inside Wembley, or indeed the many millions following this match around the country will care too much about that. If it was happening against England, of course, it would be a different matter. Pickford takes the goal kick. England leading by 2-1. Down it goes. Kane challenged. Foden on the chase. That's cleared away by Kjær. Brathwaite. Back it comes centrally. Norgard struggling to reach this, and he needed the help of Joachim Andersen, who was there. And Denmark now playing from right to left in this second period of extra time. Poulsen through the middle. This England team, this Gareth Southgate England team, attempting to take the next step here tonight and reach a final. Here's Kjær to the right-hand side. It's passed forward towards Brathwaite. Brathwaite turning, but the ball runs away from him, and Shaw's able to clear it away to Kane on the halfway line. Harry Kane is then bundled over. The challenge comes in on him. He's sent sprawling by his clubmate, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. No free kick though. Kane with his palms apart.
No free kick, no.
Not this time.
Give a throw into Denmark.
Denmark get it moving again quickly. We're in the 5th minute, just over 10 minutes to go. England with the advantage, given to them by that Harry Kane goal after the saved penalty. Back it goes from Stones. Pickford then just puts his foot through it and clears it out of play halfway inside the England half. Harry Kane, incidentally, has now scored, well, that is 15 goals past Kasper Schmeichel. Goals played forward for England by Trippier. Poulsen's got it though, back. Cutting in from the left-hand side, chips it across the box. Shaw clears, will slice that badly. Norgard gives it back to Højbjerg over towards the right. Vass is there as well. Still Højbjerg with his socks disappearing down his ankles. Foden is able to step in. The ball's headed back into the England left-back position. Shaw turns and clears it out of play. Throwing to Denmark, who are putting the pressure on England.
Give Denmark credit. They've sat back all game. Now they're obviously 2-1 down. They're having a go. And they're starting to ask a few questions.
They are throwing level with the edge of the England penalty area. The Danish equaliser would really set the cat among the pigeons. Ball is pumped by Anderson right across the penalty area. Poulsen got to it, and then Walker's underneath it. Frankly, I thought he was going to put it under the roof of Wembley Stadium. He got right underneath that one, and it's landed in the crowd, but the ball's bounced onto the pitch. So the throw that Denmark wanted to take quickly, they've got to get back and take it again, which they are with Naylor. Naylor, the unfortunate defender who conceded the penalty. Throwing taken, Henderson clears it away, headed back forward by Anderson near the edge of the box. Vint gets his head to it. Brathwaite is taking it across the edge of the penalty area. Shaw slides in to clear it away. Uproarious cheer from the England supporters for that Luke Shaw clearance, and then Vint plays it into the penalty area, but England are able to get it away downfield to the halfway line. The feel of the game has changed now. England were on the front foot all the way through that first period of extra time, but now they're standing off Denmark and inviting them on. And Denmark are attempting to take up that invitation. Norgard to Joachim Andersen. Andersen now out to Højbjerg, who takes it again. Højbjerg moving in field, little ball to the edge of the area, but Maguire's able to just move across, stretch for it, take it out towards the left-hand side, clear it. England have still not cleared it away though, haven't got it away. They've given possession back to Denmark centrally, but England do nip it back, and it's played forward towards Sterling. The crowd urge Sterling on, and he's off on a run, and he's beaten Naylor, and he's beaten Anderson, and Sterling now to the edge of the area, gives it to Kane, left side of the box. Kane goes past Kier, but then has to cut back, took it to the byline, and Kane is actually, I think, going to take it, just keep possession for England. I mean, they had the advantage there, England. Sterling, I think for all the world that it would end in an attempt on goal, but England happy to keep possession.
Yeah, I thought Sterling would have went on his own there. He goes past two, and you think, keep driving at the goal.
England with Trippier playing it forward, Walker on the overlap. And Walker, well, Sterling and Foden in the middle, the crowd groan. They want the third goal that would seal it for England. But England are happy to keep possession, to see the clock down. Shaw to Kane. Kane then returns it to Shaw. Foden and Sterling in the middle. Shaw tries to pick out Sterling. It's blocked. Back to Shaw, then played into the penalty area. The challenge comes in on the edge of the box on Jordan Henderson, who went to ground, but it was a collision really as much as anything else. Henderson ended up on the ground. He had a look at the referee, but I don't think England were going to get that one.
He's running, and we can't get out of the way. The guy stood his ground. The referee got that one right.
England 2, Denmark 1. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton are waiting for your calls on the 5 Live phone in 08 085 909 693. Hashtag BBC 606. But you're with 5 Live and the World Service for the closing minutes of this gripping semi-final. Not the highest quality as Brathwaite turns and shoots, but it took a deflection as he did so from 22 yards out. Pickford scrambling down to his right. It's a corner.
Brathwaite does well, doesn't he? He just turns. That's one thing that he's made. A slight deflection off John Stones, really. Pickford gets down, wasn't going in. He still gets his fingertips to it. Corner, running out of time.
Running out of time. Just over 5 minutes to go. But it's a corner. It's a set-piece situation. England have have got to hold out here. A packed 6-yard box. Pickford under pressure. Here is the corner, and it's headed away for England. Harry Kane was underneath it and got the contact, and England clear to the halfway line, and the ball is headed by Højbjerg all the way back to Kasper Schmeichel. Denmark go again, long from the goalkeeper, right down the middle. Maguire's big head is on the end of that. Højbjerg, he plays it square. Naylor is there. England drop back again. This is going to be tense, everyone, for the final few minutes. Denmark are probing and probing away. And a little like earlier in extra time, there is that question, can Denmark now come up with the clear chance to make it 2-2 and take it to penalties? Ball to Brathwaite on the edge of the box. Phillips steps in, does well. Foden plays it downfield, Kane on the chase, but he's not going to get that. And naturally, as Schmeichel clears it, it's handballed by Harry Kane, and it's a free kick.
Slow the game down. That's going to be on in the last few minutes. This is going to be on that counter-attack for England. Harry Kane, they've thrown everybody forward, Denmark.
2-1 it is. We're into the last 5 minutes. The final is getting closer and closer. Naylor with a cross deep towards the back post. Maguire is there again. How many headers has Harry Maguire won here? But this one is out of play for a corner. Vass quickly onto the ball, puts it in the quadrant. Again, Denmark crowd the England penalty area. England have got everyone back in there defending. All 11. Denmark with Vass to take this. The referee keeping a beady eye on this because Vass now strikes it deep towards the back post. It is flicked away by an England head. It might have been Kyle Walker who got that one. Here's Sterling running it away downfield. That's just what England want, but it was blocked by Naylor, and Denmark have got it back, and here they come again. All in red, sweeping forward. Naylor with a forward run, but he's tried to do too much, and Walker actually takes it away. And off he goes, Kyle Walker, speeding away out towards the left-hand side, taking the ball away from all Danes concerned. Now Kane, back centrally. Henderson gives it to Trippier. Trippier with only one thing on his mind. He slows the ball down in the left-back position, just puts his foot on it, waits for the arrival of Henderson. Henderson is there as well, gives it to Trippier. England in possession, Sterling. I think the Olays might start again in a moment, a la Rome on Saturday night. 3 minutes to go. Every touch, every England touch. And it's Harry Kane now who receives it on the left flank. Kane, only Foden in the middle. Here's Calvin Phillips. Harry Maguire. And then a crossfield pass towards Trippier. Poulsen's chasing, but Trippier is able to touch it back to Walker. Henderson, Denmark can't get the ball back off England. 2.5 minutes to go. England 2.5 minutes from the final. Henderson to Sterling down the right. Sterling into the penalty area. Naylor just stands up and forces him back out into the full-back position. Henderson now back to Trippier. Foden again. And then Trippier. Phillips wants it. This is a long, long period of possession. England just trying to see the game out and doing it effectively.
Very good, very good. Keeping the ball. Denmark dead on the feet. Can't really raise a gallop. Can't get it back.
Still England possession. This very, very tired Danish side. Remember, they had to go to Azerbaijan and back in the previous round in that searing heat that they played their quarter-final against Czech Republic. Maybe that's taken its toll. Sterling on the right. There are no Danes anywhere near the two England players on the right flank, Trippier and Sterling, and eventually they arrive. And now here is Henderson to Foden near the edge of the box. Foden, man either side of him. How long has this period of England possession been?
Oh, 3 minutes, isn't it?
Back it goes to Stones. Now Calvin Phillips, and actually Pickford's going to get a touch. I think every England player has received the ball. Pickford plays it out to the left-hand side. There's a flick. Now Harry Kane is onto it after that flick from Shaw. He's been done well again tonight, Luke Shaw. Harry Kane is just going to walk the ball down into the right-back position and then give it to Shaw behind him. And I make it now. We're in the final minute. Less than 60 seconds. Less than 60 seconds, everyone. England 2, Denmark 1. We'll bring you the interviews from down on pitch side. You can hear them on the Daily Euros podcast in the morning if you missed them on the radio tonight. But Denmark have finally got it back. But Harry Kane charges down, passes ball forward. Less than 30 seconds to go. 30 seconds from dreamland for England. Tolson with a flick on the edge of the area. That's headed down by Maguire. England have come from behind tonight in this semi-final. We're deep in extra time. Harry Maguire. Harry Kane's bringing it forward. He gives it to Sterling. Sterling now into the area to beat Schmeichel, who makes the save from the angle and forces it behind for a corner.
Well, that's it. It's got to be Kane now. Sterling's showing great pace again. Fantastic energy levels he's showing in his game. He's had some glorious chances and he's never put them away.
There's an England player down with cramp. I think it's Harry Kane after that challenge, actually, as he played the ball. But he's all right. He's back up on his feet. And England expectant. The crowd, everyone on their feet. They know that the whistle is about to go. England take the short corner. Foden gets shoved over. Trippier's onto it. Denmark have one last chance. There is 1 minute of added time being played now. I make it, we've got 15 seconds, about 1 minute to go. Up it goes to Braithwaite. The final is seconds away for England. The challenge comes in from Shaw and England have got it back. And DaneMark will have a look at his watch. England still play. Harry Kane with it on the halfway line. Harry Kane is pulled over. Kane goes down. But England are up and into the final. They've beaten Denmark after extra time by 2-1. And all of the famous years of hurt. It's this England team under Gareth Southgate that has finally made it to a first final since 1966. And Wembley, looking around the place, arms in the air. Football's coming home, they're singing. Inevitably, flags being twirled and players embracing one another down on the pitch. What an effort by Denmark. You have to feel for them. I must say, the penalty award that was absolutely crucial, that led to Harry Kane's winning goal. The story for Denmark comes to an end. But for England, on Sunday, the 11th of July, 2021, make a date, 8 p.m, Wembley. It's going to be England, Italy in the European Championship final. Chris Waddle.
Get in there. Hey, really pleased for them. We've got to say Denmark had a good first half, and then after that it was all England. Didn't show enough quality in the final third, but they did enough to get over the line. They've won the game. They deserve to win the game on a dubious pen, I've got to say. So, hey, who cares? They're in the final. They play Italy on Sunday. Well done, England.
Karen Carney down at pitch level. What can you see?
I've just seen emotions, but actually I've seen relief. It was like England, they came to this tournament, they knew they believed in-house, and it wasn't like, they're not going as if like it's a shock. They know, they feel that they need to be, and they are in this final. Harry Maguire now is coming over, he's singing Three Lions with the fans, Declan Rice as well. They know this team inside, they'll be telling them, we are going to get into the final, they've done it, we're in a final, get in.
Maguire walking across. He's giving a piggyback to Declan Rice down there. They're applauding the fans who are applauding back. England coming from a goal down to do it after extra time. The final score, England 2, Denmark 1, and on Sunday, England will play in a final for the first time since Saturday, the 30th of July, 1966. I know that
Euro 2020, live from Wembley on the BBC World Service.
What a story, what a night.